Welcome back to the Nest, everybody. I'm Jake Beckham, joined by Cooper Hunt on this week's edition of the NFL preview. We were missing last week. Didn't quite have the time last week.
Did not have time at all, but
I forget why.
What was it? I don't remember actually. I had something planned and something come up. Oh no, Brady was gone. Yeah, our editor Brady was gone.
And we couldn't get it in early enough.
Get in early
because we were gonna have to do it without the research, and then I don't want to do everybody like
We don't
that.
want to rush anything.
Yeah.
Guys. We
So
don't want to rush anything.
So
guys.
we did not do it last week, and then we're filming this on Thursday night after Thursday Night Football this week because we were at AW Dynamite last night.
Very
and
fun.
yeah, very, very fun. AW does not miss, but if our voices are struggling, that could be why.
Now you know.
So we just watched Thursday Night Football. We just watched Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 33-31. What are your thoughts coming out of that game?
Flacco is looking great. And I don't know, dude, Jamar, he's back to being Jamar. Got
Believe it or not.
16 receptions tonight, which is insane. T. Higgins is also doing
Which
really good. Like, the offense
we thought we were going to film this before Dynamite. So in the preview, so if anything's flawed in the preview, that's why. But I said Jamar's back for you fantasy owners. 16 receptions in the past 2 games I thought was ridiculous, and he did that tonight as well. So Jamar is completely back. This is the wide receiver one we thought we were going to see early on. And the stats said that the Steelers could lose this game tonight. We backed Bengals plus 5.5.
We did.
It's the only reason I wish we did it earlier because we could have hooked some people up with Bengals 5.5 because the Steelers have been horrible on Thursday Night Football since Tomlin has been the head coach.
Yep.
And that backed it up. So on Thursday Night Football, really,
Dang.
I had heard he'd won one since 2020. So I don't know.
There's just a feeling between me and Jake had a feeling they were just like.
I know since Tomlin's been hired, he's 2-9 on Thursday Night Football. So no matter what, it's just bad.
That's what I saw.
Yeah. So it's been bad. So Bengals get it done. High score, and the highest paid defense gets fried once again by another team. But moving on to the preview side of things, we will see another London game as the Los Angeles Rams take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, which the Jaguars play a lot of games over there in London, kind of their home site, their home away from home. Rams favored 2.5, over under 44.5. Starting off with the Rams, they're 4-2, coming off a 17-3 win over the Baltimore Ravens. Very ugly win. I kind of neutral in that one. I didn't come out feeling like any more positive or negative with the Rams, but the headline coming out of that game is Puka Nacua suffering an ankle injury. Status remains uncertain for Sunday. More than likely, he will not play. And yeah, how do you think it affects the offense?
Yeah, I mean that Puka being out is like really sucky for them just because he's kind of like that guy that just gets him down the field, soaking up the receptions. Stafford's guy, Tays.
He's still questionable. You don't know.
He's questionable.
He could play.
He could still play.
It's not looking good.
But it's a long shot, is what they said. Tay really is just gonna have to step up this week.
Yeah.
And the wide receiver role just for them as well. So I don't know. I feel like it could affect them really well.
Well, so I think someone else is going to step up. Tay doesn't need to take a step up. Tay's been playing really good. I think Tay has to be himself.
Yeah,
I think someone else.
Tay's got to be like
someone else in the receiving room or tight end room's got to step up for him on that side.
Well,
Jordan Whittington is a hot waiver wire pickup for fantasy football owners right now. Defensively, Byron Young, 7.5 sacks this year for the Rams, which is second most in the entire NFL. Have you a season, Byron Young? I'm going to be looking to get after Trevor Lawrence. And this 4-2 Jacksonville Jaguars team coming off an 8-point loss to the Seattle Seahawks at home. The offense just kind of stalled out against a banged up, but still extremely stout Seattle defense, but just kind of stalled out. But at least Brian Thomas seems to be finding that momentum that he kind of had last year. Brian Thomas looked solid once again. I believe that was his season high this season against Seattle. It was, it was the past 2 games have been his 2 highest receiving yards games, so it seems to be trending up, and he got his first touchdown of the season against Seattle before the offense stalled out. Yeah, I like what I saw out of the Jacksonville defense towards the back end of that game. They gave the offense numerous chances to get back in the game. Devin Lloyd's leading the league in interceptions with 4, but he will not play this Sunday against the Rams, so that is a big loss for this Jacksonville defense. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird game in London.
I put on here too. Like it's kind of weird. The NFL has been very very weird this
It's definitely
whole season.
so. The reason everyone's saying that is because like there's not like a big contender that's just popped out, and everyone's like
Yeah.
that's who we think is winning the Super Bowl. Last year, we kind of knew it was going to be Eagles Chiefs in the Super Bowl. We kind of had that vibe.
Hmm.
The whole playoffs were kind of cheering for it to not be that matchup, and it was that matchup.
Yeah.
We'll
Like,
see.
I was like, man, the Jags, they went from beating the Chiefs on prime time, then they go
The Jaguars
momentum, and then they lost.
4-2 still
Like,
though.
it's still 4-2. It's just like, yeah, it's weird because there's just teams I've seen like a couple times so far this season where they have a big win and then they go and they just lose to a team they shouldn't really be losing to because they had all the momentum from the week
I'm sorry.
before.
The spread has moved up by the way to
So
3.5 for the Rams, so that could change some things. That changed a lot of things because the bet I was going to tell people I liked was Rams to win and Rams to cover 2.5, but a 3.5 number is a lot different than a 2.5 number.
mhm.
I would probably go Jags as a 3.5 number just because I think they can keep it within a field goal, but I'm not like confident either way. If I want to be confident in anything in this game, I kind of lean the under a little bit. I think both these defenses have been really underrated for both these teams. The total's at 44.5, like I mentioned, but I'm taking the Rams to win. I still trust them a little bit more even without Puka.
Yeah, I agree. I have the Rams still winning, but I mean, again, I feel like it also could be just a weird game. Jags can be like, oh yeah, no, we're actually on a roll
Yeah.
right now, and they win and all that. But yeah, um, yeah, top three for like, fantasy wise, I put uh, Devontae just because if Puka's out, then I feel like he can be like a top scorer this week. BTJ Brian Thomas Jr. Um, because he's on that the ramp up past 2 weeks. He's doing better. Got his first touchdown last week. And then Kyron's also been kind of performing for the Rams offense as well. So
Okay, moving on to our 12 o'clock slate or 1 o'clock slate for you Eastern folks. We got the New Orleans Saints traveling into Chicago. The Bears coming into this game favored 4.5. This is, I believe, this is the first game the Bears will be favored in this entire season so far against the New Orleans Saints. Point total 46.5. New Orleans 1-5, coming in off a 6-point loss to the Patriots. They seem to still have a good amount of fight left in them, which is kind of shocking. I know Alvin Kamara came out and said if he gets traded, he's going to hang him up. Still a lot of dedication left in that locker room.
A lot of loyalty.
Yeah. Rattler's having a good year. 1,200
Mm-hmm.
yards, 6 passing touchdowns, and only 1 interception. But they're still bottom 5 in scoring offense. Other than that, they've been middle of the pack in most stats, I think.
Yeah.
But scoring the football has been the issue.
Yeah, there's been like some flashes I think from the offense. Like Rattler's been showing some flashes of
I think Rattler's been
QB
solid.
play.
Just like he's been
yeah.
because I know he's like top 16 in most stats, which
Which is
Rattler's been a
crazy.
top half quarterback of any starter. So that's
Yeah.
that's definitely a bright spot that they've. I mean, the fact they had Tyler Shuck battling for the starting spot is kind of crazy. I think, but
Yeah, but I feel like it's one of those things where like people are not going to realize. People are going to
I-
be like, oh, it's the same.
I've seen some love. I've seen him get some love.
Have you seen some?
I've seen some love on Twitter and Instagram both
Interesting.
because
Interesting.
I think it's one of those things where everyone's assuming he's not going to get love, so he is getting love.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, the Saints they're just weird. They're one of the teams,
There's not winning
bottom
games.
team, like it's one of those. There's always those teams every year that are like, oh, whoever's going against them probably most likely going to be a big deal. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird team.
Yeah. So they will be battling Caleb Williams, who was Spencer Rattler's successor at Oklahoma. They asked Spencer Rattler about him in the press conference, I think today actually. Spencer Rattler wasn't biting on that. That was some media stuff they were trying to grab, but Rattler said they were cordial, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Chicago's 3-2, coming off a walk-off field goal win against the Commanders. They rallied down. They looked like after the Roma Dunze touchdown got called back that they were kind of going to give up. They did not give up. They made the comeback behind DeAndre Swift's 175 total yards and a touchdown. They've won 3 in a row after an 0-2 start. Caleb was big on that, saying, hey, we're rallying back. A lot of people kind of thought they were writing them off a little bit. They're not. They're 3-2. They've been underdogs in every single game this season. Like I just mentioned, it's gonna be a weird game. I think at Soldier Field. I think these are two teams that are kind of unpredictable week to week. The Bears were 3-1 against the spread as favorites last year, and the Saints have not played in Chicago since Drew Brees was the quarterback of this team. So it's been a minute since New Orleans has traveled over to Soldier Field. I will be backing the Chicago Bears to win, and I think the Bears cover 4.5, but the Bears as favorites, I think even with with their stats last year are definitely sketchy because DJ Moore had to stay the night in DC against the Commanders. He had to stay the night with a groin injury in the hospital.
Yeah.
Swift is questionable with also a groin injury, which is very weird that they both got that. Yeah, I don't know. I probably won't touch the spread in this game, but I do like the Bears to win.
Yeah, like overall, like I feel like it's gonna be one of those games just for the Bears that like they're gonna go in there and get a win.
You got it in
You
this
gotta
spot.
get the win. You gotta get the win now. I guess what you're at.
Because
But they're gonna feel content. They're gonna like it's gonna be a decent
yeah,
win. Where they're
it
gonna,
also
all right.
feels like a game the Bears would let everyone down in the past.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they get a big win in prime time, and then they lose to the one-win team.
Yeah, that would. I mean, it's very Bears like though. You see, yeah,
I think it's what Bears fans are like, not trying to get their hopes up.
yeah. But yeah, I still have the Bears winning this game as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, and then my top three, I put Odunze, Caleb, and Olave.
Okay.
Fancy.
Olave.
Olave.
You trust him?
Hey, Olave.
Yeah. He's a potential trade
target. Yeah,
target for most teams. I know the Giants are looking for a receiver. I know the Falcons are in that market, but Saints would not give us Chris Olave by any means in any scenario.
Yeah.
But I did see a very funny post that was like, Chris Olave, do not go to New York. Cam Scadaboo would probably concuss you with his headbutts. So, yeah, you need to stay out.
I saw that too. Yeah,
you need to stay out. Moving on to the absolute bum fest, if you want to call it. Miami and Cleveland. Cleveland favored in this game, 2.5 points, over under 37.5. Miami 1-5, coming off a 29-27 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. Almost pulls off the upset. Tua throws 3 interceptions, and he was a big role in the reason the Dolphins lost that game, yet he came out and threw people under the bus, saying they were showing up to meetings late or not showing up at all. He did since apologize, but it's just a weird thing to kind of show some character, in my opinion, if you lose a game after you threw 3 interceptions and you immediately start just tossing people under the bus. And the Dolphins haven't won on the road this year. They're 0-3 on the road. It's a weird game going into Cleveland. Cleveland's always a weird place to go into.
Yeah, Gabriel, like how he's been playing too, like he's been looking kind of being iffy, kind of being all right. It's just like it's just he's also just kind of weird at QB. It's like also the whole situation with Shador and them starting Gabriel right now and then having to have Shador to be back up and all that.
Yeah.
It's very weird, but they're going against the Dolphins.
They got themselves in that situation.
Yeah, they also got the situation as well. The Dolphins, in my opinion, it's just like they're I think they're kind of in a more rocky situation right now.
Mike McDaniel is one loss away from getting fired.
Yeah.
And if you lose to Cleveland, that's the one. I just don't think Mike McDaniel can get the troops rallied. I don't think he could rally a middle school team. I like the guy. I think he's a great offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He just can't rally the troops when it gets down, and I think the season is just so far gone. Mm-hmm. If you'd have got that Chargers win, we could be having different conversations. 2-4, wait a minute, they beat the Chargers. They could be climbing a little bit. Mm-hmm. Don't give up yet. You lose that game, it feels like just a sigh of like, that's probably it.
And like it's just one of the things, man. Like the team just feels like everyone just feels.
It feels flat. It feels flat. That's what I'm saying. Mike McDaniel. It's just some teams with low wins right now still feel like the Saints. They still feel rallied a little bit.
Yeah.
Miami doesn't.
Yeah, Tua went out there saying there's a leadership issue.
You're the quarterback, bro.
You're
the quarterback, bro.
Exactly. Everyone got a little upset. People got a little upset with him for him saying that. So people were kind of upset with that. Waddle's a potential trade target coming up at the trade deadline.
And I assuming he's getting moved if the Dolphins don't overestimate.
Yeah, but if they don't win this, then he's probably going to get moved. But Waddle already removed Miami from like his Instagram, so he might not even be in the best.
The only reason I could see Waddle not getting moved is because the price they've put on him. Teams are just not willing to pay.
I think he's like better than what teams are trying to pay for.
Yeah,
and all that. Which he's really good. He's
like a first round pick is a steep value.
Way too much for him. And all that. So. I don't know. I personally, for this game, I think the Browns are going to win this.
We haven't talked about the Browns yet. Hold on.
Oh, we have not talked about we have not talked about the Browns.
Browns, largely for the Miami. Browns are 1-5, coming off a 14-point loss to the Steelers. Cleveland continue struggling moving the ball. Jesus. And played from behind the entire game against the Steelers, causing Dylan Gabriel to pass the ball 52 times in his second career start. Quinshon Judkins only averaged 3 yards per carry, which is another reason for the insane amount of pass attempts. This is the first time Judkins has really struggled in a game because I think, Pittsburgh was committing to that run. They were saying, if Dylan Gabriel can pass on us, we'll lose that way, but he just wasn't able to. Mm-hmm. Despite the score, the Browns defense kind of kept the offense in the game for a little bit there, but it wasn't enough after the 2 second-half touchdowns from the Steelers. Yeah, Browns are 2-0 though against the
Mhm.
spread at home this year, and this will also be the first game they're favored in as well, just like the Chicago Bears. I also have the Browns to win,
Mhm.
but I will probably not be touching this game. But I may sprinkle some Browns money line. I may, but it's a big ask to put U.S.
What's their
currency on the Browns.
What's their money line right now?
Money line on ESPN Bet is -145, which still feels a little steep for a Cleveland Browns team. But
Yeah.
it come night of or night before more so.
Mhm.
I may. We'll see. The vibes are just so. I don't think Cleveland's good at all. I think Miami's more talented than Cleveland is. The vibes are just so low in Miami right now.
Actually, I feel like they're just dead. Like they're being
Yeah.
beaten down. So it's like that's the whole difference. Is like you got a team that's like the defense can keep them in games.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna be going against a
That's
team
true,
that's deflated, it's like they're just not gonna win games.
I would also be betting against the Dolphins more than I'd be betting on the Browns. Like I'm just be fading the Dolphins.
If the Dolphins would not
Because my personal prediction, I texted someone today about it. I said, I feel like this is a game of Browns win and McDaniel's just gone. I think next week we're talking about whoever the Dolphins elevate to their head coach, we'll be talking about that team compared to, I think Mike McDaniel's it's ran its course. And when something runs its course and you still can't rally the troops or even look like you're trying to rally the troops, it's just a bad look. I think next year we could be looking at a completely different Miami team, like different quarterback, completely new weapons with Tyreek and Waddle gone, Achan's in trade talks, a new head coach. This Miami team could be completely different next year, and they could be picking very high at this point. Why not fire? I mean, if you want to lose games, I don't know if you want to fire McDaniel because at that point you could try to get the first overall pick with him coaching, but you could also bring another coach into head coach and be like, we'll give you a job. Just make sure you ain't trying to win these games too much and try to get that first overall pick. Even though it's kind of a quarterback weak class, Tua feels like it's ran its course. Nothing against Tua, but it just feels like it's gone.
Yeah. I have the Browns winning, like I said earlier. Interesting enough, my top 3 for fantasy, I just don't trust anything with the Browns offense. Like the only person I actually
Judkins,
trust,
maybe.
yeah, that's the only guy. I put Judkins on there. Other 2 guys are in trade rumors. I just think that this is like the 1 week.
I kind of like Harold Fannin because DG loves Fannin more than Njoku so far, in my opinion. I think he likes Fannin.
Play either.
Yeah, so Fannin could be a play.
Could be a good play.
And what that goes back to, I think people don't relay this a lot. Fannin was running second team in camp, and so was Dylan Gabriel. So he was throwing to Fannin more than any other player on the team.
Chemistry.
Yeah. So he likes his guy. Like Penix, the only reason Casey Washington has got a role in Atlanta is because Penix worked with him a lot last season. So it's like a lot of these guys, second team or third team, they play with him a lot, so they have a good role in the team.
Yeah, and the other 2 are in trade rumors right now. I feel like this is the 1 week that there's like, okay, we need a win, so they could probably produce. But
and I will say I did try to get Waddle in fantasy because I think just buying into his stocks though, trade wise, like even if you don't want to start him this week, buying into his stocks for the next few weeks wherever he goes could be
better.
Could be the player, could be devastating.
Thing
but I think it's willing to take a risk if someone's not asking too much for that player. But we'll see.
I also feel like Achan as well. I feel like they're gonna just be like, you know what, we really don't want. I don't know what we're gonna do.
But see,
here.
the Achan talks were Seattle. So this week it could be, but we'll get to it when we get to Seattle's game, so we can talk about them. But if it goes to Seattle, I think that would be such a worse fantasy spot than Miami currently, because Miami's
Charbonnet's they're gonna be like, wait, Achan. Guess what, Charbonnet's gonna go.
Well, K9's on that team too. You got 3 running backs
too. Yeah, unless they get rid of K9, the Dolphins.
I mean, hey, I just got K9, so I would love that.
Yeah, that would be actually
if he can go somewhere to get more snaps, because that boy is talented. He is talented. Okay.
Going back with Jordan Brooks and Jordan Brooks in the
shout out.
But
yeah, moving on, we got the New England Patriots traveling into Tennessee. Patriots coming into this game favored at -6.5, and the over/under 42.5. Patriots are 4-2 coming into this game. Drake May starting to make some noise in his sophomore season with 1,500 passing yards, 12 total touchdowns, 3 turnovers, and with the Buffalo loss, the Patriots now lead the AFC East for the first time since the departure of the GOAT Tom Brady. So this is where it's at, man. I mean, the Patriots finally going back up. I will say the Drake May hype is getting crazy. Like Tom Brady Jr. He got a lot more hype for the Bills win than Penix did. I know he played better than Penix in that game, but like it wasn't that. I don't know. I'll say that. But Drake May hasn't played good, though. That being said. So I called the Patriots being a playoff team, by the way. I was big on the Patriots team in the offseason. I said this team, I still think they'll be a wild card team. I think Buffalo will get it together more than New England can sustain this winning culture. But I did call the Patriots being a playoff team. I do want to take that victory lap because I love Mike Vrabel, and now he makes his return to Tennessee at Nissan Stadium. This will be the first game after the Titans fire Brian Callahan after his 4-19 stay in Tennessee. Tennessee's 1-5 coming off a 10-point loss to the Raiders. 10 points does it justice because the Titans were never in that game. There was never a threat to the Raiders. The Titans were going to win that game. The Raiders defense was just harassing Cam Ward the entire day.
Cam Ward was struggling.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was very.
This team is just god awful.
Yeah.
And I honestly expect to see a few steps forward, though, with former Chargers head coach Mike McCoy taking over for the Titans. Just because I think anything's better than Brian Callahan. I think Callahan, I was very low on Callahan the moment I saw how he reacted to Will Levis struggling just a tad. Because I don't know if you remember, but he was like yelling at Levis, like screaming, like yanking him by the helmet to the sideline. He was going to press conferences, throwing Will Levis under the bus. At that point, I didn't like him at all. No wonder he went 4-19 in Tennessee, a 3-14 year, and then goes off to 1-5, bro. Like, you'll be a coordinator for the rest of your career, I'm assuming. Brian Callahan, it is what it is. Like, I think you ruined it for yourself. I don't think this team was very good that you took over, so I do give you that, but like I don't think you handled it well either. Patriots are 3-0 on the road this season, have not lost on the road. I'm taking the Patriots to win this football game.
Yeah, the Titans, they just can't keep a head coach, it feels like. None of them are
Well, they could have.
They could have kept
They could have kept
and
one.
they should have kept one.
Yeah.
And
that's a message that's going to be
me
said.
personally, I do also like Variable as with the Patriots. I just feel like Variable is kind of like a Patriots head coach vibe. You know, type of deal. He's there.
Great. I mean, our preseason preview, we were doing an AFC preview. I described this team as gritty, and that's what it is.
Yeah, the offense is looking good. People are stepping up in the receiving. Like Butte's been doing really good as well.
Yeah, Kayshawn. This is gonna sound insane. Kayshawn may be better than Stephon Diggs in 2025. Yeah, like talent wise. Just because I don't think well, not talent wise. I meant like motive wise, because Stephon Diggs just doesn't seem like he wants to play football really most of the time, except for the Buffalo game where he went dumb.
The one game he's like,
it's like, why are we not getting that? Because he was a leader that game. If he was playing like that every week, man, Stephon Diggs would still be in those discussions, but he's not been.
Yeah, but I saw the Patriots winning this.
I would like to see the Patriots establish a run game this week because that is a flaw.
That is the one
I see with this team.
They love passing the ball.
When you start playing good teams, you can't just rely on a young quarterback to make all the throws without being able to run the football. I would like to see them be able to establish a run game this week with whoever it be. I don't care if it's Ramondre. I don't care if it's Travion Henderson. Just establish one of them as a good rusher of the football. I lean the under 42.5 because I don't think Tennessee's going to be able to score the ball at all, really. Like max 14 points. So I'll take New England to not blow them out by like 30. But they could, but like.
Do you like the spread?
Yeah. The only reason it feels like a trap for some reason, like it feels like everyone. Like, I'll let you do your fantasy real quick, and I'll look at the bet percentages, because it feels like everyone's going to be on the Patriots.
Yeah, no, I would legit like Titans, again, I just don't trust anybody on that offense whatsoever. Tony Pollard, also, I heard some rumors with him being traded as well. So I just put Drake May. Drake May dropped 31 points last week. He's proving to be a really good fantasy quarterback. And I also have Butte. Butte had a really good game last week as well. He's stepping up in receiver, and then I couldn't really think of anyone else, so I just kind of put in Diggs. Do that with as you will. Yeah. And see how you do it there.
Yeah, so 64% of the spread bets are on the Patriots, and then more money is on the over than the under, which is
surprising.
Kind of surprising to me personally. Yeah. I figured there'd be more money on the under, but people don't like betting under, so that is also They probably do. But at the end of the day, like NFL teams don't be running up the score like that. But then again, the only New England blowout we've seen this year, they did smoke Carolina 42-13. So you never know.
Hey, Vrabel, grit. He's like, we're just gonna score.
I just feel like
prove a message.
I feel like the Titans' defense is a little bit better than that, but they've also given up a good amount of points to Indianapolis and Los Angeles. So yeah, I'm not gonna say with my whole heart it'll go under. I just thought that was a solid number to get it at.
Yeah.
I do like the spread, though. I like the spread on the Patriots, even if the money's on it, because I figured the money would be like 75% of bets, because it seems like the pros will probably, if it gets up to 7, just go on the Titans just to fade the public. But we'll see. I like the Patriots in probably every regard of this game.
Yeah.
Moving on to a game I did a lot of research of because I had to talk myself into it because it was a big, big number. The Vegas Raiders traveling into Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. This game is a very big spread, like I just mentioned. Chiefs coming in this game, minus 12.5. and the over-under sitting at 45.5. We will kick off with the Raiders. The Raiders are 2-4 coming off that 20-10 win, as just mentioned, over the Titans. They pick up that win at home. It was much needed. 2-4 is a lot different than 1-5. Geno still struggled, though. I didn't love what I saw out of Geno. He leads the league in interceptions this year with 10, and Brock Bowers will remain out. So they need to establish a run game with Genty early in this matchup, in my opinion, to really get the offense rolling early.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be it's just gonna be hard for them to get run game started going because I feel like
it also feels like because although we hate on Geno, he's not a young quarterback. You can completely commit to the run and be like, oh, Geno won't complete the ball. He will. He's accurate. It just depends if you can bait him into stuff.
Exactly. I just feel like I know it's kind of hard. I feel like it's gonna be really hard for Genty to get something going against them.
Yeah.
Type of deal, and I don't know. I saw something about Geno, his on pace. What on pace for interceptions for the whole season? It was something crazy.
I can do the math real quick.
Yes. I think it was crazy. I think I might be wrong.
Oh, it's 30.
Yeah, it's like 30 on pace.
Because they played 6 games. He won't throw 30.
I
doubt he.
Crazy.
This may sound crazy. I don't think he throws 20. He might throw 20, but I don't think he does. Because that was the worst case. And I don't know. I think it'll be all right. Yeah. I mean, it's literally Jameis Winston. When Jameis Winston went 30-30 in 2019.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, but the one big thing for the Raiders offense, in my opinion, is Genty. I feel like Genty's the big piece point.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. But it feels like if the Chiefs load the box and dare Geno to throw, the Raiders will move the ball. Because Geno he throws a lot of stuff into coverage, but if stuff's open, Geno's going to get the ball there.
Yeah.
He's not that bad of a quarterback. So that's what I'm kind of leaning into a little bit more.
My fear is just that, he could just throw a pick, maybe a pick or two. And
then they're down 20.
They're down by 20 because Rashee Rice is also coming back this week as well.
Yeah, Rashi's going to be on Demon
Rashee
Time.
Rice is going to be it's going to be there. I mean, people are going to.
So I
just feel like
diving into the Chiefs.
Yeah.
3-3, coming off a 13-point more. I felt dominant against Detroit at home on Sunday Night Football. They handle them. Mahomes is now the favorite to win MVP after he's found a solid rhythm. Rashee Rice's suspension's officially over, and Mahomes regains his wide receiver 1. But as someone who, and if you're a TikTok person or something, you've seen me glaze this team. You've seen me be like, hey, everyone, hold on. I've said this multiple times. And then they win a game in prime time. And I'm immediately seeing the media and Chiefs fans call this team a top 3 team in football, or a top 5 team at that. I've just never seen a 3-3 team ever get this hype. There's never been a 3-3 team where people are like, they're top 3 in the league.
Yeah.
That's cool. And by the end of the year, the Chiefs will probably be in those conversations. But at the current moment, you can't say they're playing better than the Colts. You can't say they're play better than the Bucks. You can't say they're playing better than the Seahawks. The Jags beat Kansas City. Seahawks show up, they dominate Jacksonville. And they both played on the road. It's the same game. The Seahawks dominated. By the end of the year, I'm not saying by the end of the year it'll be like that, but people are getting outrageous with it. I've had discussions with people. I'm like, they're not a top 5 team right now. Yeah, it's not even close to being a top 3 team. I'm hearing more hate about Buffalo. Buffalo's still 4-2, and they got beat, but you're still 3-3. You got to remember that. And I know Mahomes get his weapons back. It'll probably be all right. But calm down.
Yeah, no, I feel like the Chiefs are gonna win this game, but the hype is still gonna be building up because they're like, oh,
okay,
we won
in the
game.
grand scheme. If they're top 3 or top 5, how are they above the Jags? The Jags just beat them and have a better record. How are they above the Chargers? The Chargers have a head-to-head win and a better record. How are they above the Rams, have a better record? I know record isn't everything in watching the games, but they're still 3-3. We can't act like the Chiefs are 5-1 right now. If they were 5-1, they'd be top of the league in power rankings, and I wouldn't argue it.
Like the same forward, the whole whenever they beat the Giants, we're talking about that. You also defend the Chiefs.
Yeah, because I'm saying defend them. They're going to get their weapons back.
They're going to get their weapons back. Everything's going to be fine. Type of deal. But then as soon as they have
they get a good win,
good win, people start overreacting. People start going crazy.
I guarantee some of the comments will be like, "You don't know ball."
And if they do that, if you say that in the comments, man, go check out the other videos. We've been big on this team. This is a good Chiefs team.
You should see the week 1 previews. Where we talk about
please go to preseason previews and look at our
reviews. Yeah,
this team. And this team is very good, but this team is not good enough to be minus 1,000 against any team.
Yeah.
Minus 1,000?
That's crazy.
That being said, here's the stats I had. The Raiders are 4-1 against the spread at Arrowhead since 2020. the average spread of those games is 10 points in the Chiefs' favor, and the Raiders have won 2 of those games straight up outright, and they've only lost 2 of those by – so they lost one. They got blown out in one of those 5 games. 2 of those games, they beat the Chiefs. And then the other 2 of those games, they lost by 2 in one of them, and they lost by 1 point in one of them. This is a rivalry game. These teams hate each other. It's so wrong to assume the Chiefs are going to go out and blow out this team. I got Chiefs to win. I got Raiders to cover plus 12.5 and one of my best bets of the week. Ticket worthy right there, baby.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I have the Chiefs winning this game. You know, I don't think it's going to be – I think they're going to win healthily, like, against the Raiders. Nothing really to worry about. But also, I feel like –
it's also just a big number.
It's a big number. I don't think they can win by 3 points, and I feel like people are still going to be kind of a little bit.
That's cool.
Type of deal.
No, because I'm not saying you can't celebrate. If you beat your biggest rival, please celebrate.
Exactly.
But don't come out and be like, because my thing is they didn't celebrate beating the Lions. They didn't go, oh, we're back. They said, oh man, top 3 team in the league. And I know this is a clown. I know he's probably engagement baiting. Colin Cowherd comes out and goes, this team's 3 and they're not 3. Like, bro, they're still 3-3, dog. Like, they're 500 in the NFL.
Yeah, you can't say that when they're still 3-3.
Yeah, at the end, I know record is everything, but they're still 500. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's still so weird just to come out and call a team that.
Top 3 fantasy wise though, Rice, he's coming back. You know, wide receiver 1 for Mahomes, gonna be a big deal.
Rice will probably go crazy.
Deal. Genty's gonna be the full focal point for that offense for the Raiders. So
the way I view this, right? I think worst case the Chiefs, because remember the Chiefs still struggled with the Giants. Yeah. I know they're getting Rashee Rice back. I know they have Worthy back. I know this offense is gonna be moving. Raiders defense has looked okay this year. They've looked solid. Their defense has kept them in games. That Chargers game, offense had no reason to be in that game. Mm-hmm. Washington game, they got blown out. They lost by 17. But I think there's a chance if they're down 17 to the Chiefs, they may go score garbage time, and that covers the spread.
Exactly. And then last guy, too, the guy who's been soaking up receptions for the Chiefs offense, Kelsey.
Trav. Shout out Trav.
Shout out Trav, man.
He hit our receptions line Sunday night.
Didn't really help
real quick.
Still.
No, but real quick. It helped me.
It helped Jake.
Get a lot. Yeah, Sunday night we didn't have a good night Sunday night. We thought there was gonna be a lot more. We thought there was gonna be a lot more points. We made up for it Monday night though because I got Koopy on the Falcons and the Bears.
Big made up. I need that.
Well,
and tonight for us as well.
Which is so funny because like. If we would have lost that after losing a bunch of bets Sunday night, if we would have went Monday night and bet on the Falcons and the Bears, I would have sat back and go, why the flip would I bet on the Bears and the Falcons to get me back in the game? But they did.
Both spreads were nice.
Yeah, shout out.
Spreads.
But shout out Falcons and Bears real quick. But I will say, before I was going to say that, shout out all the tight ends. We've been heavy on tight ends receptions all year. I can go look at teams and I can tell you guys that have hit for us this year. Travis Kelce, Dalton Kincaid, Michael. Oh, we're on the Raiders. Why are we not talking about Michael Mayer yet? Oh. We were all over Michael Mayer. Oh. Michael Mayer first touchdown Sunday hit.
Yeah, we were like, you know what? Let's put Michael Mayer.
First touchdown hit,
and it hit. We were dancing. I was stripped down.
Yeah, it got there, but because Cooper was big on Michael Mayer, and I said,
Michael Mayer.
I was like, if Michael Mayer is going to be on the thing, because we had Michael Mayer. Anytime and then Geno passing touchdowns.
Yeah,
I was like, Geno didn't hit, but I was like, the psycho in me when Cooper said Michael Mayer, I was like, hey, we might as well sprinkle first touchdown, and then he had a little block and release for the touchdown. Shout out the tight ends that have been great for us all year.
Yeah,
we probably should before the week start like studying what tight ends we like so that we can have it on the podcast.
Tell you guys the tight ends.
But we won't know until Saturday night or Sunday morning, so we'll see, man. But shout out tight ends.
Shout out tight ends.
Moving on to another noon game. We got a big game as the Philadelphia Eagles, who have dropped back-to-back games, travel to US Bank to take on the 3-2 Minnesota Vikings coming off of that bye week. So Philly, like I said, 4-2, coming off a 17-point loss to the New York Giants, but are still favored at 2.5 against the Minnesota Vikings on the road. The over/under is 43.5. The Eagles just got shocked back-to-back weeks, but this one comes in the form of a blowout loss on the road to a divisional rival, so it hurts a ton more than that Broncos game. A.J. Brown really upset with his target share, and Saquon, he's got to get the ball rolling, which is just a big negative for this Eagles team. I was upset with A.J. Brown getting upset when they were 4-0. Now I can't blame the guy. I mean, if it's leading to you losing by 17 to a to a divisional rival that struggled this year,
Mhm.
I can't get mad at you, man. Because I if you're 4-0, I still believe that. Like you can't be complaining. But
Yeah.
now that he was 4-0, I think he may have seen that things are going downhill a little bit. The Broncos game, AJ Brown had I don't know because Devontae went crazy, but AJ Brown went for 43 yards. He had 8 targets, so not bad. I wasn't paying attention to that till the end, to be honest with you, or I guess we weren't. But the Giants game was just, they were passing the ball a ton because they were playing from behind, and this Giants secondary is awful. He had 80 yards, but he could have had like 200 on everything, bro. Devontae had 49. Devontae could have had 150 with how open he was on some of those passes.
Yeah.
So it's a Jalen Hurts issue, but also schematically, they just want the ball more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I know I glazed the Eagles a lot like throughout the whole season, probably in the preseason reviews as well. But man, just going like back to back, losing to the Broncos and then losing on
The Broncos game, especially, you were up 14. You should be able to close that out.
Yeah,
that
close
game
that
out with
game.
the talent you have.
You just cannot be losing to the Giants who've been struggling, this bad, and you're the Super Bowl champions, this. So it's like
you also just have the most talented roster in football by a good amount.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can have you have AJ Brown, Devon Smith, Saquon, Goddard has been helping.
He's getting the most targets.
He's getting the most targets out there. But man, you have this offense and you gotta open it up. You gotta start scoring because they should.
I think that's what was scary though. They opened it up last Thursday night, and they still lost.
Yeah, I remember the Eagles whenever it was oh my gosh, are they gonna get 21 points in the first half? Like because they were getting 21 points like on average. I felt like every week.
Yeah, last year
before halftime. And last year, so it's like. It's kind of one of those things like what happened to them? They win one Super Bowl and they're like, I don't want to try anymore.
Kind of like Kansas City, it's kind of weird. The Philadelphia defense seems to have taken a major step back these past few weeks. Granted, they're missing some key pieces against the Giants. I mean, still not giving them an excuse to lose by 17. But even in their 4-0 start, it felt like the Eagles were sleepwalking. And we were like, this team feels like they're sleepwalking. And they kept sleepwalking, and they found out you can't just sleepwalk, and now they're 4-2. Now, if my team was sleepwalking and was 4-2, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. But it also sucks because as a fan of a team, you're always like, you always know the potential your team has. Like every fan has that hope of what their team has because every team has potential, but you're the one watching every game, so you're noticing. So to be 4-2 with losses to the Giants by 17 and a loss to Denver that you were up 14 in, it just sucks for Eagles fans. But I mean, it couldn't happen to probably better people. Yeah, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
sorry, Philly fans, but y'all got a little carried away. We're not sorry. Yeah, we're not. Philly fans, y'all get carried away every year. I would not mind seeing this being a down year for the Eagles. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. It feels like a buy low spot for Philly. Because it feels like this team will get it doesn't feel like they will get it figured out
at some point.
They will get
point in the season, they will
if they don't, that's when discussions have to start getting made because I feel like this is a team that if things don't go well this year, they're going to immediately sell a bunch of pieces in the offseason. Everyone's be like, okay, you didn't have to do all of that.
They're going to overreact.
Yeah.
Like heavy overreact.
Yeah. Which this team loses coordinators every year, so that is also a rough step to take.
Yeah.
But they're going into Minnesota. Minnesota's 3-2 coming off that bye week, like I mentioned. They get a bye week after their London game, and they played in Ireland, right? Yeah. The week before that.
Ireland.
So the bye week works into their favor 100%. I'm assuming that was a scheduling thing. The NFL is like, you're playing back-to-back Europe games. We'll give you the bye week here. Both J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz are recovering from injury. I think Carson Wentz is officially a go, but J.J. questionable still. That's where the story comes in. If he's good to go, what do you do? Exactly. And it is currently unclear who will start that game. I'm assuming if J.J.'s good to go, it's Thursday. I think Wentz starts at this point.
Yeah, Wentz.
It's too late in the week. I think JJ might start next week based on because I feel like if you haven't come off injury, you're going to want to have that set in stone early in the week, unless you try to catch the Eagles off guard and do it late.
Yeah,
but
you could.
And I also will say I was a little harsh on JJ. I do say because I was never going to go back on that. Not going to lie. Until the Falcons defense did the same exact thing to Josh Allen that they did to J.J. McCarthy. So J.J. McCarthy, I'm still not big on. Well, it's to be determined. We'll see whenever you get back in. Then I'll form more opinions on you because I didn't love J.J. McCarthy as a prospect. So when he had a bad performance, I did jump on the fact. We'll see. We'll see. To be determined whenever he does get in there. Wentz is 2-1 as a starter compared to JJ's 1-1. I just think the team still has a better chance with winning with Wentz at quarterback. for the rest of this season, I feel like Wentz is just going to give you a better shot to win the game.
Yeah, I think so. Between both of them starting this Sunday, I do think that they should start Carson. I feel like they will start.
It's also
Carson.
the Eagles.
It's the
You got to
Eagles.
start Carson Wentz.
It's Carson Wentz got against the Eagles.
Revenge game.
Revenge game. And again, if you are in a position where you're like, we want JJ to start, make sure he's fully 100%.
Yeah, ankle's not something you can
just
screw
throw him out
around
there
with.
whenever he's kind of a little bit injured still. But yeah, I think Wentz should start against the Eagles. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a fun game.
It should be.
Should be a good game.
This is the first week of the season, by the way, and we won't even be able to watch together this week because of two things we're doing separately. But this is the first week the Falcons and the Seahawks both don't play during the day at any point, 12 or 3.
Yeah,
So because both primetime games for the Falcons and the Seahawks this week. Sirianni, as much as I don't like him, is 2-0 against my glorious king, Kevin O'Connell. So he has not lost to Kevin O'Connell yet. I'm taking the Eagles to win in a bounce-back spot and the Eagles to cover -2.5.
Yeah, man, it's really hard for me to decide which one I'm going to win. The Eagles just have been struggling. The Vikings, I like them, but like also I will say like Carson Wentz did win barely on last touchdown. You know, was it to the Steelers? I think it was the Steelers, right?
No, they lost to the Steelers.
Who was it to?
They beat. Who did they beat that
Was it
week?
the Browns?
Yeah, it was the Browns.
Okay, the Browns. They lost to Steelers.
Yeah, the
You
game.
know,
Yeah,
I
that
feel
was
like
the
they'll put up a
game-winning
fight
play.
type of thing, but I think this definitely is a bounce back game for the Eagles.
Yeah,
So I'll say the Eagles are going to win.
I will say negative real quick. Jalen Carter and Landon Dickerson, both the trenches guys on opposite sides of the field, but both trenches guys are questionable this week. But a lot of these Vikings linebackers have been injured all year, so that is a negative for Minnesota.
Yeah. Top three though. Goddard's been performing like godly in fantasy right now. That's Jalen Hurts' guy.
Yep.
JJ, he's been doing a lot better with Carson Wentz out there.
Yep.
So go for him. And then I think that this week, you know, the Eagles can kind of struggle running the ball, trying to pass it. They don't know what to do. If this is the bounce back game, I think Saquon's gonna have his first.
You think they can run on?
First ever day. I think it's.
I will say I feel like they kind of need to get the run going. I think Flores could get Hurts into some trouble with his blitzes. I think Hurts. It depends. We'll see.
Yeah.
It should be a fun game. I'm excited to see how both teams adjust to each other more than anything.
Yeah.
Moving on to a complete opposite, really. It will be the 3-3 Carolina Panthers traveling to MetLife to take on the New York Jets, who are 0-6. Right.
Man, yeah. They haven't won.
For some reason, I put 1-5 on this preview. They're 0-6. They're
It
only
feels like
winless
they
team
should've
in
won a game at some
NFL.
point.
Yeah. So Carolina, though, is favored in this game by 1.5 going on the road. The point total, is 41.5. They're coming off that 3-point win against Dallas at home. The season is alive around Halloween time for the first time in a long time, okay? I saw a lot of Panthers fans, talking about it's like, hey, this is the first time we've been at this point of the year and actually had some hope behind it. But I will say also, Panthers fans, stop talking to Falcons fans, bro. That game was 4 weeks ago, and Panthers fans are in every Falcons fans mentions that they beat us 30-0. I can't wait to get y'all back in the bins because it's going to be BTA. I'm telling you that right now, okay, buddy? This team is not the same team Carolina got that week, 2 or 3 game.
Yeah, it was just a rough game.
Penix had a young quarterback had a bad game. It happened, man.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But Bryce Young has had 1,150 passing yards, 11 total touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Bryce Young, up and down, but good enough to have the Carolina Panthers at 3-3. Panthers have the least number of sacks in the NFL, but a top 10 rush defense, which could play well into their hand against the New York Jets. We'll see.
Yeah.
For the Panthers, this, like I said, they are just very good at home this year. They are 3-0 at home and 0-3 on the road. So something to watch. They've just been very good at home, but they are on the road this week. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I will say, man, like T-Mac, he showed up finally. He got 2 touchdowns, right? I think so. Yeah, he got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Last week.
I'll check real quick.
Their run game has been looking good. Rico Dowell.
Rico Dowdle.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't put that in my preview.
Yeah, he
might have
game against the Cowboys.
So T-Mac did have 2 touchdowns.
Crazy.
T-Mac had 2 touchdowns and 29 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Red zone guy. But yeah, Rico Dowdle, I will bring up the
Had
exact
a
stats.
game.
He is making a discussion for him to be the normal RB1 of this team. That's against Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard's a very good running back, but Rico, man, yeah, he has So 2 weeks ago against Miami, he had 206 rushing yards and a touchdown. And then last week against Dallas, he had 183 rushing yards, 56 receiving yards, and a touchdown.
Golly,
Rico Dowdle, man.
he's him.
I liked him in Dallas. I had him on my fantasy team when he's in Dallas. I like Rico Dowdle a ton, but I did not think he was going to do this in Carolina. So
Yeah.
Chuba, along with getting back from injury, also has to worry about his own job.
Exactly. It's gonna be weird to see like who they.
I think it'd be
more.
pretty split.
They're gonna start doing split, and then I feel like depending on it might just be like both of them just doing really good, so it's like they're just always gonna be split.
It should be
But
split. I feel
someone
like
could out the other in snaps, but at some point, but
it definitely could just be a fluky thing, and Rico just doesn't start performing when Chuba's back. So
yeah. So but yeah, man, he had a game, against the Cowboys last week.
and they've won those past 2 games. Rico's been going crazy.
Yeah. So and then he's going against the Jets this
A
week.
good run game in this league is so
So-
important, in my opinion. I think having a good run game just gives you something to lay back on, especially when Bryce, he's struggled a lot in the past, and he's not necessarily been like really good this year. Obviously, he's coming off a good high-scoring week against the Cowboys, but it just helps to have a run game.
Yeah.
And they will be traveling to New York. New York 0-6, coming off a 13-11 loss to the Broncos in London. The offense just couldn't move the ball. Justin Fields finishes the game with 45 passing yards and only 9 completions. They're going to have to pass the ball to win this game, though, because the Panthers, like I said, have a top 10 rush defense, but they have the least number of sacks in the NFL. So with Garrett Wilson doubtful,
He's very doubtful. Yeah. He's doubtful.
Lazard is questionable. I think he's playing, though. I think I saw. Yeah, he's not on the injury report anymore. But now Josh Reynolds is on the questionable side of it and on the injury report. So the receiving room is kind of weird right now, but the Jets do love their tight ends. They love Mason Taylor. They love Jeremy Ruckert. I think Justin Fields, I know you're not going to have Garrett Wilson, but they're going to have to pass the ball. They're going to have to if the Panthers can't get home, I don't think it matters what receivers you have, to be fair, in the NFL. If the pass rush can't get home, they're going to be open at some point.
Yeah, I think a big guy this upcoming Sunday. I think low key it might be our tight end dude. I think Mason Taylor.
Mason Taylor could have a day.
Because he might have a day because just with everyone being out, that's
Yeah.
the main target. We'll look at the
Even
receptions.
legit. Even Brees out of the
That's-
backfield, though. Brees has been a big target
Yeah.
out of the backfield, but I just don't think they're able to run the ball, and they could. This could be a top 10 rush defense. It's very early in the year. A lot of these stats are fraudulent. The Panthers could have a rush defense so far, and then they fall apart this week. We'll have to see. Aaron Glenn is already in a spot where he must show promise, or he will be fired after only 1 season in New York. That's the name of the game. This is the first time the Panthers will be favored this season as well. That's a big thing this year. They're 1-2 against the spread on the road, and they're 0-3 on the road straight up. And then the Jets are 500 against the spread this year. I'm going Jets to win. I think they pick up their first win.
You have a
I just think
feeling?
there's just no shot Carolina goes 4-3. No, that is one thing, but I'm not going to always just pick that. I think the stats, what I'd at least say, again, stats don't matter at the end of the day once you get on the field, but I'm taking the Jets to get their first win, and as a bet, Jets money line, kind of like it at plus 100 as a double up.
Yeah, I actually like heart wise. I really want the Jets to kind of win this game too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think
I got you.
Panthers. I'm trying to look up the line.
Yeah,
the
I got
reception
you.
Line. Panthers to me, like Dow's having the run game. T-Mac has gotten some touchdowns last week. They're kind of cooking. They're kind of chugging along. I'm gonna go with my heart. I'm with the Jets to win. So I'm gonna go with the
Okay,
Jets.
so we're both going Jets. What could go wrong?
What could
Could go wrong there. But the more enticing thing as
at this.
sports bettors is betting. So we will look at these game lines real
Love
quick.
receptions. It's so much fun to watch receptions when betting because it's just
Receiving props.
until they don't get targeted. But
Hey, we've been cooking on
we've been
receptions.
cooking on receptions though. 'Cause
Some other things we've lacked on. Receptions has not been one of them. As I can't find receptions here for Mason
I
Taylor.
couldn't find it on my phone. I don't know what's gonna be.
Oh, I should just go Pickett. Shout out Pickett. Not sponsored, but if Pickett wants to sponsor us, I will advertise. So I will go to Pickett and view through there. Yeah, legit, bro. Mason Taylor receptions over under 4.5. Pretty solid number from Vegas there, because I think they have the same thought process that we do. I can go back
What's
really
the-
quick
you
and
did
look
the-
at Mason Taylor's what he's been doing this year. I think it was plus odds for the over. So
yeah,
that
I might be
does
hammering that.
that does play into our hand.
I love that.
Mason Taylor is the second, or the player with the second most receiving yards and receptions on this Jets team.
There you go.
Let's go to game log. Last week against Denver, he only had 1 reception, but they didn't have really many interceptions. Dallas, he had 9 receptions. Miami, he had 5 receptions, 4 receptions against Tampa, and then 1 each in his first 2 games. So it doesn't put me in a negative spot towards it at all.
Mhm.
I think Mason Taylor could be a play.
Yeah, I like that. I actually like that a lot. To be
So
honest.
that will probably end up being a leg here on
It might be
the
for the
video parlay.
video parlay.
But moving on, we will go to the 3 o'clock slate or 4 o'clock slate for Eastern. And once again, it will be the New York Giants, 2-4, coming off a massive win, traveling into Mile High against the 4-2 Denver Broncos. Denver favored in this game by 7.5 points, over under 40.5. Like I said, New York 2-4, coming off that big win against Philly. Jackson Dart improves to 2-1 as a starter with 675 total yards, 6 total touchdowns, 3 turnovers. He's been playing well, but I'm going to say it again. I don't want to be negative, but he's got to find a way to get down or he's going to keep up this pattern of going down once per game. Please, please, please get down Jackson Dart so New York has a franchise guy. But, Daniel Jones, like I said, probably last episode, or 2 weeks ago, last episode, Daniel Jones showed promise his rookie year. So I think sophomore years are more important than rookie years for quarterbacks, as we've seen with other guys that went crazy their rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. This is a big test. This is, the number 2 team in total defense this year. The Broncos are, and they're at home.
Yeah.
Cam Scatterby, though, been electric so far. Will either only play for 1 contract of football or he's just immune to CTE. We'll figure it out once we get there.
Or he'll embrace the CTE.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the two. I know a lot of people love their Cam Scatterby based off what they've been watching.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Burns, 3rd in the league in sacks with 7 sacks this year. Brian Burns, come on, man. I think Brian Burns is a massive get for this defense when they got him. He's kind of rotting away in Carolina, and he's not rotting away in New York, I guess, if they can keep winning. We're going to find out. I know Kayvon Thibodeau is a trade target. The New York is kind of marketing out there just a tad. Not as much as people think, I don't think, because I think Kayvon has been improving this year. Just like he showed improvement last year, I think he showed improvement this year. But that defensive line is stacked. I don't think Kayvon's ceiling is higher than Abdul Carter or how good Brian Burns is right now. So we'll see.
Yeah. I thinking about both these teams as well. It's both teams that beat the Eagles.
This is true.
The past 2 weeks, now
True.
they're going against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's one of those games with how Vegas is also looking at it with they're favoring the Broncos a lot. If you're someone who's on that train of the Giants.
So, yeah, 65% of the spread
Yeah.
bets are on the Giants.
Yeah, and
On Pickett, at least.
if you want to go with it just because you are a Giants guy or you like the hype,
Yeah.
I would go for it.
It's going to be
But-
pros versus Joes. I think sharp or square, whatever, however you want to put it.
I mean,
It'll be pros versus casual NFL fans. But yeah, moving on to the Broncos. Or go ahead.
We're going to the Broncos.
Okay,
Yeah,
moving on to the Broncos. They picked up the win in London, led completely by their defense. Nick Bonito leading the league in sacks with 8. Could be your depoy. Almost won depoy last year. Shout out the Oklahoma guy, Nick Bonito. I thought the offense was improving and couldn't get the offense going this past week. And we'll have to see this week if they can improve on that. It's just a lot of it relies on Bo Nix, and I will give him a little bit of slack because I think the skill players in Denver aren't the greatest, specifically receiver and tight end. I think Evan Ingram's just so inconsistent. And then I like Marvin Mims a ton, so I can't really hate on Marvin Mims. Not that I would, because I love my guy Marvin Mims, but he's open a lot of time down the field, and Bo's just not hitting him. And then Courtland Sutton obviously is very consistent. But it seems like they're missing a receiver. It seems like they'll probably draft a receiver in this upcoming draft just to splash it in because they don't need any defensive help. They need the offensive help.
Yeah.
That being said,
they're already good.
Yeah, Giants' pass defense is awful. So no matter what, I think the Broncos should see success through the year. And if they don't, then I really will have questions unless the Giants are getting home at a ridiculously fast rate. But this Broncos defense is ridiculous. 2nd in total defense, like I mentioned. They're 3rd in pass defense and 6th in rush defense. They're just ridiculous defensively, and I think they're gonna force Dart into throwing the football, which would play into their hand because they're top 3 in pass defense.
Yeah, like looking at both teams as well, I think it comes down to the defense and who's gonna step up. You have like the Broncos defense is elite, and then Giants defense is elite in the D line.
Yeah.
In the pass rush.
Yep.
So you have one overall versus the one D line. It also, in my opinion, I can see why people are like, "Oh man, like Giants going into this game," because they just beat the Eagles type of deal going into this game. It depends on what Bo Nix shows up for the Sunday. If Bo Nix shows up
Yeah.
and he's acting like like week one Bo Nix, or like he's throwing some
Yeah.
picks, he's not hitting his targets.
Bo
The Giants
picks.
can very well just win this game outright. But also the Giant he's gonna have to pass the ball.
I will say,
So.
Dre Greenlaw for Denver, I
Mhm.
believe, has been activated off IR, I think. If not, he's coming back next week. But Dre Greenlaw will be back very soon, which is just like
Nasty.
adding an infinity stone, like to a stacked
To the
defense.
gauntlet.
Yeah, because Dre Greenlaw is ridiculous, and Denver's played really good at home.
Mhm.
The Cincinnati game, they dominated. That was another, obviously, Cincy with Jake Browning is worse than the New York Giants, but they dominated that game. We will see. We will have to see. I know I'm saying that about everything, but we're in a part of the season where we're not early season, so it's not like we know nothing. We know a little bit, but we're not late season, so we don't know everything. We're in that we'll see period of the season to where
Yeah.
it's just a lot of we'll see. But
Yeah,
I'm going Broncos to win, and I do genuinely like the under of this game, 40.5. They played the Titans week 1, 20-12. That's the vibe this game gives as well. I can see the Giants backdoor covering, but I don't trust the Giants to cover. It feels like a 20-10 type of game, in my opinion.
Yeah. I also have the Broncos winning. Some guys for fantasy, I would say Sutton. I feel like it could be a big game. Giants corners
Secondary's
are
bad.
awful. And then since the guy's getting the carries, he might as well start him. Scatto, but it's a very rough matchup against the Broncos.
You can't bench
So you
Scatterbo
can't
at this
bench
point,
him,
but like
but
I wouldn't
fair
love it.
warning. If you
Yeah.
have someone else that's also really pretty good,
If you're playing in a lower team league,
lower team league, I
but
would
if you're
start
playing in
someone
like
else.
anything from
But you're
10,
gonna
10 to
have to start
14, 10 to 14, you probably got to start him.
But I wouldn't get your hopes up that he's going to have the Scatterbo games that he's been having
Yeah.
against the Broncos defense.
Okay, moving on to the premier game of this slate. Actually, not even in my opinion, it just straight up is. It will be the 5-1 Indianapolis Colts against the 4-2 Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers were -2.5 in this game at home, and now they're -1.5 in this game. So coming into this game, Chargers are favored by not by much. The over/under 48.5. This Colts team that I mentioned is 5-1. Coming off that win over Arizona, and it was a stressful one over Arizona. It wasn't just a breeze like most people figured it would be, and that was their first struggle in a win since the Denver game a month ago. Daniel Jones has low-key been better than Herbert up to this point, but will it actually last? I don't think so. In an interesting story, Anthony Richardson has been placed on IR
Yeah.
after a pregame incident where he injured his eye while using a workout band.
And it flung
He
up
got
and
he got an orbital injury, so he got placed on IR.
wasn't it a fracture?
Yeah,
Orbital fracture due to a band during warm-ups.
and that's just a fluky. It's a funny accident, but can you imagine Anthony Richardson had been the starter of this team up until this point? Your starting quarterback gets hurt while using a workout band. Yeah, so at that point you got to be a little happy that Daniel Jones is your starting quarterback because I don't think you got to worry about Daniel Jones using a workout band really at all. I don't think, but let alone injuring himself with one.
Yeah, no,
That's not me like hating on it. That sounds like I'm not trying to like make it sound like oh Anthony Richardson's dumb. Like
Yeah.
I just think it's such a
It's like just a
crazy
freak
thing.
accident.
Yeah, no, it really
Well,
is.
they
But
perform it.
at least he wasn't your starting quarterback getting injured in a freak accident.
Yeah, no, I think this game's gonna be a lot of fun. To be honest.
Hopefully,
To be honest, hopefully.
yeah.
The Colts, man, JT's always having a day every week. He's that main guy on that offense. Daniel Jones, he's been passing the ball. Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren is the leading receiver of this team.
He's the guy that everyone thought Colson Love was going to kind of be as well.
In fantasy.
In fantasy.
Overall, we knew Tyler Warren was better.
Tyler Warren was better.
The only reason I was like not against the Colson Loveland pick when we were watching the draft, I was like, well, Ben Johnson, I feel like would rather have the better receiving tight end.
Yeah.
But it appears Tyler Warren's the better receiving tight end and pass blocking tight end or run blocking. If it just appears Tyler Warren's better in every aspect.
Yeah, Tyler Warren's a dog. I like him a lot, man.
For the Indianapolis side, they could be missing a couple corners, and then possibly Josh Downs, which would be Josh Downs. Also, again, I'm gonna keep saying these names. Josh Downs, potential trade target, along with Adonai Mitchell. Those are two guys I would both love for the Atlanta Falcons to go get for different reasons. Adonai Mitchell could add a downfield target share to our offense, and then And then I said Adonai Mitchell there, right?
Yeah.
And then Josh Downs could play in the slot for us, I think.
Oh, I think you said Josh.
Okay, yeah.
I can't remember. You, but
So Adonai Mitchell would play downfield for us compared to Josh Downs kind of being in the
Yeah.
slot, filling in for Rager McLeod, who's going to be off the team within the next couple of weeks. I'll get to that. But I think Josh Downs could fit in our team very well. And then the Chargers, my God, this offensive line is banged up. But Bradley Bozeman is sick. So Chargers fans, I know you can't stand him. He's one of the worst ones. I think he's the worst rated starting center in the entire league, PFF wise. I've seen so many complaints from Chargers fans about him. But yeah, we'll see. Both teams, obviously, every team's battling injury every single week. But moving on to the Chargers team, they sneak out a win over the Miami Dolphins. Kamani Vidal with 138 total yards and a touchdown in the win. Ladd McConkey with 100 receiving yards and a touchdown in the absence of their leading receiver, Quentin Johnston. This is going to be a fun game. Colts are 4th in total offense this year. Chargers are 7th in total offense. But I think where this could be the determining factor, the Colts are 19th in total defense compared to the Chargers, who are 7th in total defense. So Chargers are top 10, 7th in both categories compared to the Colts are a lot more offensive lopsided, and the Chargers are 2-3 against the spread in games they're favored in.
Yeah. Can you imagine the Chargers that they had Slater and then also didn't get injured? Like,
yeah.
I think like that.
Even battling Joe Alt. Joe Alt's been missing
He's
the past few
missing
weeks.
as well.
I think he could play
He's
this
come
week.
back soon.
I think he could play. He could play this
He
week.
could play this week.
Which
yeah,
missing both your tackles, which, not to brag here, the Falcons missing the right tackle, and then we didn't have Jake Matthews for the second half. We had back up both tackles, and Michael Jarrell was god-awful. But we still picked up the win. It's tough. It hurts your pass game a ton. So the fact that they've still been able to pass the ball without their 2 starting tackles is genuinely ridiculous.
I can't imagine like how like the offense has been rolling through the.
It messes with a lot. You got to try to establish the run game, which
Exactly.
luckily for them, Kamani Vidal came in and he did. He'd established the run game.
It was one of those two. It was one.
It was Hassan or Vidal, and you had to take a shot in the dark there.
Now it's gonna be kind of weird because there's some rumors of them going out and trading for a running back and all that because I think Jim Harbaugh's like, we gotta get the ground game going.
Who was the running back?
For what?
You showed me like a thing that was like they could go get this running back.
It was Brees.
Oh yeah, it was Brees Hall. So at that point, why would you draft the running back in the first round?
Exactly, and that's what people are saying.
I know he's on IR. But he will come back.
He'll come back,
and he's still been a first round pick.
And that once you do that, you're like, then Mari Hampton's like, okay, how do you time to deal? And then you also have Najee that you're gonna have next year. So if you trade for another, I mean, again,
I don't think. Yeah.
What I'm saying.
I don't think you can build around Najee.
I'm saying if you're gonna go trade for a running back and you already have all these running backs,
it depends on the price. I think Brees' price could possibly be like 4th or 5th round pick though. So at that point, it might just be too much to where Harbaugh can't say no, and he's like, I'll take a split backfield.
Yeah.
Because he did run a good amount of split backfield when they won the national championship in Michigan with Corum and Donovan Edwards. So I don't know. I don't love the move, I don't think, but I can also see Harbaugh wanting to get a split backfield. I'm going Chargers to win. I think they're more balanced, and I don't see the Colts going up to 6-1 yet. And I'll take the Chargers to cover that -1.5 number at home.
Yeah, I have I have the Chargers winning this game. And for fantasy wise as well, there's a lot of this is a big fantasy game. I mean,
hopefully for fantasy owners.
Fantasy owners, it's been a fantasy game. McConkey's been showing promise the past couple of weeks. Quinn
Johnson is returning though.
But again, like we said, corners are out. I feel like it might be a field day for the receiver room. Also JT, he's top 2, top 3 running backs right now in fantasy. I think so. I don't know.
He should be RB1, right?
RB1. I'm not. I just haven't paused. I haven't looked at him, so I'm guessing he is one of those spots.
I got you.
But with how he's playing, Tyler Warren.
Oh no, he's RB2. My bad.
RB2. Okay, it was in that range. I think McCaffrey's RB1 right now.
Oh, McCaffrey definitely is. Yeah. I always just forget about somebody. Yeah, McCaffrey's number 1.
But again, like Tyler Warren also eating up receptions. He's just being that guy. Like,
yeah,
I think this game's gonna be a big fantasy game. So those are the guys.
Just a lot of guys.
A lot of guys.
That it could be a big fantasy game, but I do not think that will be the highest scoring game of this slate. As we will move on to AT&T Stadium, where we will see the Washington Commanders travel in a divisional matchup. And I remember saying this at some point. I don't know if it was a preview or if it was like after like one of the first couple of weeks. I go, man, Stevens is going to screw them. But I can't wait for the eventual Commanders-Cowboys shootout. And I think this is the game. Washington favored at -1.5. The over-under is a large number of 54.5. But two shootout of the teams, I think. Washington, 3-3, coming off that 25-24 loss in walk-off faction to the Chicago Bears on the road. They had that game in their hands, but, it's a primetime road game. Things can sneak up. And, if you've been watching the games, Jaden Daniels has not looked the same this year as he did last year. He still has over 1,000 total yards and 7 passing tutties and only 2 turnovers. But if you're watching, you're noticing. You're noticing, you're picking up on things. Kind of feels like a C.J. Stroud moment a little bit. But he still has a high ceiling. This Commanders team really still has a high ceiling. I know a lot of people are just kind of forgetting about him.
Mm-hmm.
They just beat the Chargers 27-10. They dominated that game. This team still has a high ceiling.
And you can't. I feel like if you're looking at it as an NFL fan too, and you're like, oh my gosh, the Commanders just lost the Bears on prime time. If you look back at it, it was just a mistake that happened.
They should have had that game.
They should have had the game. It was raining, and the ball slipped, and then they fumbled, and that's the reason why they lost. But the Commander team is way better than people think. In my opinion, still.
I think it is. I think this defense can hurt them a lot, though. The secondary isn't good, and the run defense showed to be a flaw as well. They're 26th in total defense, but luckily for them, they're facing the team ranked dead last in total defense, which is the 3-1 Dallas Cowboys, coming off a 3-point loss in Carolina. Dak could easily be an MVP candidate if they could just pick up the wins, but it's going to be challenging to do it with this defense. Both teams could get their wide receiver ones back this week, though, and CD's back in practice, Terry's back in practice. They could be returning, which would make this even more fun in the grand scheme. Cowboys are still number 1 in total offense in football with missing CeeDee Lamb. So that's still impressive to me. Mm-hmm. Prescott's 11-2 against the Commanders in his career. He owns the Commanders. I think we've seen this, that Prescott has owned the Giants and the Commanders in his career. Against the Commanders in his career, 3,100 passing yards, 27 passing touchdowns, only 5 picks. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys to win this football game. And one of my ticket-worthy top 3 bets is the over 54.5 number. I think cheering for a shootout in this game will be the better side, but also be the more fun side. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take Dallas in a shootout though, because if Dallas can get a team into a shootout, I like their odds.
Yeah.
If their offense isn't getting the ball rolling as much, that's where we get an issue. I think the Cowboys get a dub here with CD back.
Sure, yeah, surely with CD back,
it's also against a horrible secondary in Washington.
Yeah. Also with the Cowboys 2 money line as well, plus 100.
Yeah,
it's very
plus odds
for
a Cowboys team at home.
Cowboys money line. It was like a trap game for the Commanders. I would deal in a way
for bettors possibly. I know in their locker room a rivalry game is just never a trap game. Mm-hmm. By the way, tickets are as low as $23 for this game. For AT&T Stadium, that's unheard of.
Crazy.
Unheard of for AT&T is low as 23. Yeah, if you can get to that game, please.
It'll be a shootout.
It'll be a fun game. Yeah, look at that. $24 each to get. I mean, you're gonna be sitting up there, but you still got a little view. You still got a smooth little view.
Everything going on a little bit.
Yeah, all the rest of the tickets are expensive, so I think somebody listed that, not having it in mind. I would grab that if you can. But I think it's gonna be a fun game. And I did want to give a shout out real quick because I chuckled when I was looking at the Jonathan Taylor. Javonte Williams is still a top 5 running back in fantasy football right now, which is so insane that Javonte is in this spot this deep into the season. Yeah, man.
What's crazy too? Next season as well, he'll be starting for them,
And everyone's gonna take him high.
Draft, and I'm not gonna be a fan of him at all.
I'm not. So if he goes crazy, it'll be on us. But it also feels like he would be taking a.
It just feels like one of those things was he had so good last season, drafted high, and then he's what happened to him? He's completely washed now.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to say, Chicago, if you don't, with your 232 lowest ticket price against New Orleans Saints, come on, bro.
Come on.
Anyways, moving. Did you do your fantasy?
Oh, Jane Daniels just came back. Start him. CD coming back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put Bill.
No Dak Prescott against this secondary.
I probably should have.
Okay, I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna go with my guy Dak. Because I love Dak so much.
I didn't think about it, but I put Bill because of how the Cowboys cannot defend the run.
Yeah.
So Bill is gonna have. I feel like he's also gonna have a day in the shootout aspect of things.
Yep.
So also maybe Terry as well, so if he's coming back to play.
Yeah, possibly. And Debo's still banged up, so we'll see. Moving on to the last middle of the day slate, the afternoon slate. It will be the 1-1 Green Bay Packers traveling into State Farm to take on the 2-4 Arizona Cardinals. Green Bay's coming off that win over Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I think their game was pretty solidly close, but they ended up winning by 9 points. The offense took a minute to get rolling, but they eventually did. And once they did, they kind of extended things.
We've always been a second half team.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm paying attention, to be honest with you.
And not
So
really.
yeah, but yeah, I guess if they have, Brady's saying they have.
3 years.
So Jordan Love playing good football. He's playing clean. We finally saw some solid production from Matthew Golden.
Mhm.
Yeah, there wasn't much to go off of that game. It looked like a game, the Packers just, they got it done.
Yeah, it just And, like the Cincinnati kept it close. Packers, they still won. Everyone kind of thought they were gonna win.
Yep.
Type of deal. It's the Packers looking like the Packers. I just feel like in the beginning of the season we were kind of putting them up like crazy high too, just because like how good the defense is doing and all that. And then
Yeah.
they kind of went a little down a little bit, kind of a little back up. It's just it's weird.
Yeah.
But no, the Packers still are a great team.
Yeah.
And fortunately for them, they're going against.
I was about to say, luckily for them, leading into the Arizona Cardinals, they're 2-4. They almost beat Indianapolis, and they kept up with them, even though they had Jacoby Brissett and their third and fourth string running backs, but their bottom 10 defense in the NFL could not help them get that win. It feels like, it more than likely they're going to be missing Kyler and Marvin Harrison again this week. Marvin Harrison left the game last week with a possible concussion, and it looks like there's truth to that. But the Cardinals feel like they could be a little bit more patient getting Kyler back in because of Brissett's good performance. And I've seen some Cardinals fans, I've seen a few, I'm not talking for the whole fan base, so don't come after me for that. I've seen a few people be like, this might be the time to trade Kyler, because if Brissett can come in here and do it, then I feel like we don't need Kyler, because Kyler's been a letdown to some. But yeah, the Cardinals are top 5 in sacks given up, by the way. Not a good mix. And this Packers pass rush, who is due for a big game, in my opinion, because they are only 19th in the league in sacks this season with Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary. They're due for a breakout game. But the Packers are 0-3 against the spread in games favored by 5 or more. And I feel like we've been on the receiving end of that. The Packers come to these games favored by a good amount. The Cowboys game, for reference, we were on the Packers. We should have known better than that one. The Browns game, they're favored by 5 or more. And then the Bengals game, we were on the Bengals because that was just a ridiculous spread. I think it was 14.5 when it closed.
Yeah, we were like, we kind of like that. Because it was like
Flacco versus that big of a spread, I don't care what team he's facing.
Yeah, it's a big spread.
Yeah, it's just, I'm taking the Packers to win this game. And my last ticket-worthy top 3 bet, I'm going Packers to cover that 6.5 number. If I get burnt on it again, I don't know, man.
One of those things, too, is the Cardinals, for some reason, they always keep it close. I don't understand how.
They do, but it feels like since they kept it close last week with Indianapolis, I feel like they may let everybody down this week just because there's so many missing pieces. Not moving pieces, just straight up missing pieces at running back and receiver. They're going to be missing their top 2 starting running backs, their starting quarterback, and their receiver 1.
Yeah.
And not a deep room with a
way
bad offensive line and a bottom 10 defense. Green Bay, if you don't cover this game, we got to have some discussions.
Speaking of 11 tight ends.
Yep.
Tucker Kraft is the better one.
Tucker Kraft. I mean, he scored late in the game.
He did score late in the game.
Because my only problem with Tucker Kraft, people love Tucker Kraft. Like, he's on a lot of anytime touchdowns, and I'm just one of those people that gets psyched out about that because I'm like, if everybody's on it, I feel like it's one of those things like, everyone had this. But yeah, Tucker Kraft, he's been having a great year.
Yeah.
Straight up. He's their leading receiver this year with 268 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. That's fire. I wish I was sponsored by Kraft Mac and Cheese. Overrated, by the way. Kraft Mac and Cheese cooks every once in a while.
Some
Kraft
mac and cheese.
Or a box in there. That'll get you out. That's a. I think it's becoming like a struggle meal for some. But hey, in our generation, everyone grew up eating some Kraft Mac and Cheese.
I'll still eat some Kraft Mac and cheese.
Yeah, kids are getting too bougie for Kraft Mac and Cheese.
Exactly.
Let's go Kraft Mac and Cheese.
But yeah, no, I also have the Packers winning this game. I don't know. I think the offense is more just getting rolling against the Cardinals defense. The Cardinals offense, I don't think it can get rolling against the Packers defense. That's a lot of.
Like I said, I think defense is due to get home.
Defense is due. Fantasy wise, Jacobs. Did he have a 2 touchdown or a 3 touchdown game last week? 2. Very close to 3. Because I remember I was like, please don't go in another touchdown.
Yeah, shout out live betting also, because I got Josh Jacobs on an anytime touchdown live for like a very discounted price because I did Gen 2 too. So shout out that little live parlay.
That was nice. McBride still producing fantasy. I think last week. I think he had a touchdown last week.
Okay, let me go look.
Yeah,
I wasn't, Red Zone was on, but the Seahawks and Jags were on the main team because Seahawks played at 12. We weren't really dialed into that game like that.
I think I did remember.
Yeah.
He got a touchdown.
72 yards a tud.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
Wow. The worst game he's had this year is 5 receptions for 41 yards. So if that's a
The worst
floor,
game, yeah,
that's
for
a
the
floor.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. McBride still an elite fantasy tight end, I think.
Still an elite tight end straight up.
Straight up elite.
Yeah.
And then the last guy, he had a lot of production last week, and he's kind of rolling for that Green Bay Packers receiving room.
Yep.
Matthew Golden.
Yep.
Watch out. We thought we could.
It felt like
down,
felt like a matter of time before Love and Golden officially connected because I felt like it just missed communications. Love was missing by a little bit on some routes, and it's like it'll get there.
Yeah. So yeah, watch Golden. Golden, pretty decent for them.
Moving on.
Moving.
Sunday Night Football.
Jake's.
The Atlanta Falcons going into Levi Stadium take on the San Francisco 49ers. Niners are favored by 2.5. The number moved down ever since it is assumed that Mac Jones will probably be starting this week once again. So number moved down from 3.5 to 2.5. Over-under has gone up from 45.5 to 47.5. And the Falcons are now 3-2, coming off a dominant, I don't care what the score says, dominant win over the Buffalo Bills. They upset, it's just a great upset in primetime at home. Bijan Robinson, 238 total yards, an 81-yard rushing touchdown. Bijan is on pace to break the scrimmage yards record. And it's in 5 games, by the way. He has more rushing yards than anybody in the league. And he has played less. He's played one less game. Scrimmage yards, not rushing yards. Scrimmage yards have been ridiculous. He's on pace for nearly 2,800 scrimmage yards this year and 10 touchdowns. He will be your offensive player of the year. And I've been saying this. JSN also on pace to break the receiving yards record. I think JSN, the only way he can get is if Bijan slows down. And so I think that's the 2 guys right now, which is awesome that it's on our team because that's a heck of a feeling right there that we have the 2 biggest OPOY guys of the year so far. Maybe Jonathan Taylor's in there too. But yeah, Bijan on pace to just shatter Chris Johnson's scrimmage yards record. Falcons were missing 2 of their top 3 receivers, 2 tackles in the second half, no problem. Drake London goes for 158 yards and a touchdown. Falcons, 2nd in total offense and 1st in total defense. This team is mad underrated, man. And I know it's because of that Carolina loss, which is fair. If a team loses 30-0 to the Panthers, it's fair to be like, I don't really believe in that team. It's cool, man. I mean, people can stay on that side. I get it. But, we just turned the ball over early, and it felt like a fluky game from the jump. This offense is rolling now. And even when the offense slowed down, this defense, like I said, number 1 total defense. Gruden's loving them. Gruden's got them named the blank squad.
Nice.
They got Gruden nice. But, yeah, I would assume Ray-Ray McCloud will not play this week. There's apparently some locker room issues. Raheem scratched him from the report due to personal reasons, which seems to be because we fired our receiving coach, and Ray was not happy with that. And Ray, I'm not sure if you in a spot to be that vocal about it, but if you want to, you probably be off the team. Darnell is looking like he's on pace to play, but he could be out again. Jake Matthews, our left tackle, is injured for the first time in a long time. Mr. Consistency, Jake Matthews, is questionable with an ankle injury he got rolled up on. Jordan Fuller, though, at safety, which is such a funny thing because Jordan Fuller felt like he's going to be a player for the Falcons. He was on IR. He got taken off of IR. So I'm not sure if he has a role in this offense after Xavier Watts just has been nuts to start the year. We'll see. But we are going against a very injured and banged up San Francisco 49ers team who is 4-2, coming off an 11-point loss on the road to Tampa. They lose in a game they're missing a ton, and they lost their star linebacker and defensive play caller, Fred Warner, for the entire year. So now they're just missing, their top 2 defensive players for the rest of the season. I mean, I feel horrible. I mean, it feels bad. They're hoping to get Brock Purdy back, but it probably won't happen. It looks like Mac Jones will start. Kittle's expected to return though, alongside Pearsall is being evaluated to see his progress. So Pearsall might play. I'm not sure what the progress was on that. I just haven't checked it. But yeah, we'll see. This Niners team's very banged up, and with Mac Jones, Purdy's mobile ability would have given them a very good chance when it comes to just moving the ball. But I think our pass rush has been so ridiculous. We blitzed on over 70% of the plays against Buffalo, which is unheard of to do against Josh Allen, who can sit there back there and pick you apart. He wasn't able to. His receivers weren't getting separation. Our defensive backs are firing. There's a few just underrated names on this Falcons defensive front that are like Dorless has been ridiculous. Obviously Jalen Walker switched positions, so he has been to some people disappointing. James Pierce Jr. though pressures all day. We're blitzing. Caden Ellis might be the best player on this defense right now at middle linebacker. He's blitzing, he's in coverage. Caden Ellis just all over the field. This team, man, it's been so good this year, or the past 2 weeks. But I think if we can just keep playing like this, we'll be in a very good spot to make the playoffs come season end. But hopefully we can continue that.
Yeah.
I'm going it's Falcons to win. And the Niners are 0-2 against the spread at home this year. So I'm going Falcons cover plus 2.5, but I'll probably just be on Falcons money line.
I like this game too as well. Like you have like both elite running backs right now in the league going into
Two guys that work out together too, by the way.
Actually,
CMC and Bijan are good training partners.
Yeah, man. Like, but also I feel like every time we talk about the Niners every week, we're always like, oh, the banged up Niners, and it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah,
they just lost.
It
Fred.
does, somehow it keeps getting worse.
They just lost Fred Warner, like their main leader on that defensive
yeah.
side of the ball. I feel like this game, and also I just want the Niners to lose as well. But I'm pretty confident that the Falcons are going to go in and they're going to
hopefully
win that game.
It feels like it could be a letdown spot, and I hope that's just not true.
But like how they're rolling last week, how the Niners are looking now, the Bucs just beat them. I feel like you guys are gonna go in there and get some work done.
Yeah, I would just like to say, I was just counting. This is ridiculous. We have 12 different players with at least half a sack. Which, if you really like sit back and think about that,
6 sacks in total.
Well, no, I'm saying with at least in total, that's 14 sacks
altogether.
Because some of these guys have half a sack, some have 1.5, 2.5. Shout out Zach Harrison. He was a mid-round pick for us a couple seasons ago. He has 2.5 sacks. Brandon Dorless, like I mentioned, man, ain't nobody know who you are, but you are a dog, my guy. Like I said, Caden Ellis, he's been so good. He's been getting tackles everywhere. I'm just going through the sack guys right now because Leonard Floyd has been okay. We signed him as a vet. Rook, who missed all of last year. Rook has a sack and a half. David Onyemata, more of a run guy. But Onyemata got a sack on Josh Allen. He didn't have to do nothing. He got back there. He just held Josh Allen and stopped his momentum. And the ref said, oh, wait, protect Josh Allen. And he did. He said, I got you. Jen Walker's a sack. D. Alford has a sack, and he got a pick against Josh Allen. Falcons fans, y'all hate D. Alford. He read Josh Allen like a book and got a pick. He's been ridiculous. A lot of people apologizing to D. Alford. Sam Roberts, a guy. No one knows who Sam Roberts is. He's been a stud this year. Billy Bowman, my guy at OU, he's been really good. He missed this past game. We missing a defensive starter in Billy Bowman. Divine Diablo is a free agent signing. Divine Diablo has been ridiculous. I said to watch out for Divine Diablo in the preseason as well. James Pierce Jr., only half a sack, but he's had a good amount of pressures, and it seems like Pierce is just there on a lot of stuff. So I will say this defense, there's a reason they're number one in total defense. It's a long year. A lot could change. Always. I'm going to stay grounded with that. But this defense has been wrecking havoc, and I think they can get after Mac Jones.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot.
Fantasy?
Fantasy. Pretty easy, to be honest with you. The top 3 guys in that.
There's 3 easy skill players.
3 easy skill players. Drake London went crazy dumb against the Bills. Hoping that he does that, this week.
Which, by the way, that could have been a lot crazier. He had 145 at half. He just didn't do much in the second half.
Second half. And then, of course, the 2 elite running backs in this game, McCaffrey and Bijan.
Yep.
So, nothing much else to say.
Moving on, we have a doubleheader on Monday Night Football this week. We will start off with these are 3 hours apart, thank God. I know a lot of Eastern people are upset because the Seahawks game is starting 10 Eastern. 10 Eastern.
Is it 9 p.m.?
9 p.m. Central Time.
Oh,
but I'm personally happy because it separates the 2 games. They couldn't do it this past week with the Falcons and the Bears games because they're both on, neither one of them's on West Coast time zone, but this one is, so they're able to do where we can watch one at a time and fully indulge in both games. But starting off at 6 Central, and we will get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 5-1, traveling into Detroit to take on the 4-2 Detroit Lions. The Lions are coming in at 5.5-point favorites, over under 52.5. Tampa coming off that 11-point win over the 49ers, and they have been one of the hottest teams in the NFL, even without Bucky Irving, even without Mike Evans. And now they will be missing Emeka Egbuka, Bucky Irving, and Chris Godwin this Monday night. Hopefully Mike Evans plays to make this, more of a... Yeah, because Baker's out here just playing with a bunch of backups, and he's still doing the dang thing. Because Baker would be the MVP if the season ended today, because he is sitting at 1,700 total yards, 12 passing touchdowns, only 1 interception. He's going to be missing a lot of pieces still, though. But if he can get Mike back, at least there's a little bit of hope because the Bucs are hopeful that Mike Evans will play. Hopefully he does, so that the Bucs have a good fighting chance against the Lions team rebounding off a loss.
Yeah. No. It's one of the things where like the Lions didn't really like the Lions, but like last Sunday. But the Bucks going in there, they beat the Niners and all that. They do suffer all these injuries. They come in here. Baker's playing MVP level.
Ridiculous,
He's playing
man.
crazy. He's looking insane. To be honest with you. But like going into this game, it's gonna be I feel like a hard game for the Bucks to win because you know how
They're battling
Lions-
uphill. They're
they're always gonna battle uphill against the Lions. Lions are always gonna go for things. It's gonna be demoralizing if they go.
And the Lions,
down
they've
and
had the
get
Bucks
it.
number the past few years.
Yeah, so-
Playoffs, regular season doesn't
And then
matter.
It's really unfortunate that they're missing so many like people on offense. They're missing Bucky. They're missing.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I mean, they're missing
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
basically.
Like you
That's
said.
why I will say
So-
I'm not trying to steal your fantasy thing because I don't think you have him on your fantasy thing if I had to guess, but we haven't had that like 2-touchdown Cade Otton game we see every once in a while. So I
Yeah.
picked up Cade Otton personally because I'm not missing Brock Bowers. So I picked up Otton because I think this could be an Otton game where it's like, oh, Otton has 2 touchdowns. He's keeping him in there.
But yeah, no, yeah. My opinion, the Lions as well. Have we talked about the
Yeah,
Lions?
we
as
have
well?
not.
Okay.
Lions are 4-2, coming off a 13-point loss on Sunday Night Football on the road, and the offense looked as confused as they've been all season since Week 1 when they've
Yeah.
had the issues in Green Bay. That was they looked fine, and everyone gave them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, Lions offense will be all right. The Chiefs game was the one where they looked confused. Brian Branch will be suspended due to the fight after the game with Juju.
Mhm.
I know Juju had a block on him that set him off a little bit, but Brian Branch kind of acted like a child
Yeah.
after the game. You know,
Should not
Mahomes
be acting
went
like
to
that.
shake his hand. He didn't shake Mahomes' hand. Mahomes still was the bigger man. And then Juju, I'm assuming, joked with him and kind of talked a little crazy. Brian Branch punches him, and then Juju got mean because Juju got tossed.
yeah.
Juju got tossed crazy. But yeah, Brian Branch acting like a child out there. And I know Juju's probably a good rage baiter. I know Juju probably gets under some players' skins a little bit.
Yeah.
But contrary to what is probably believed, neither of these teams are top 10 in total offense this year, which
is crazy.
seems absurd to
Because
think
it feels
about.
like they are.
Yeah,
Like,
but the Bucks are top 5 in rush defense, which is a very good trait to have against this Detroit Lions team.
Mhm.
We saw Jahmyr Gibbs struggle heavily getting the ground game going against Kansas City, and the only other game he had done that in, I believe, maybe it was the Baltimore game, rushing wise, like just yards per carry straight up, and Dave Montgomery went crazy that game.
yeah.
So Montgomery did not go crazy against Kansas City, so they had no ground game at all. The Bucks are 3-0 against the spread on the road this year. The Lions are 2-0 against the spread at home. So both the stats say both these teams. I'm going Lions to win.
Yeah. I also.
And I think they cover the 5.5 number, but I'm not confident in it.
Yeah, I also have the Lions to win. I just think the Bucks offense is too banged up that I don't think they're going to be able to
Yep.
keep up with the Lions offense.
At the end of the
even
day,
the-
the Bucks are jogging out there. They do have Baker Mayfield, which I think Baker's a good amount better than Jared Goff. Probably a
Mhm.
lot more than people would like to say.
yeah,
But he has Rashad White against Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery.
yeah,
He has maybe Mike Evans, Tej Johnson, Sterling Shepard against Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo. And even a tight end. They got Laporta. You got Otton. Even their offensive line. Their offensive line's a good amount better than the Bucks. I feel like you're just at a disadvantage. But it also, if Baker wins this one, the hype will get outrageous, but like rightfully so.
yeah. Me and Jake are also talking about like earlier. We were like, man, can you imagine Baker if he was the Lions?
The Lions QB.
We were like
That team-
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
insane.
Because
Like,
Goff was playing bad against
Because
Kansas
like
City.
Baker also has like rushing outside as well. Compared to Goff is like a tree trunk, you know.
Yeah.
So like Baker also like he's got and he just matches Dan Campbell.
He does have Dan Campbell energy.
Energies that
Baker
I feel like it would
does.
be scary going against them. That they both of them.
I feel like they may have a bowl.
Crazy.
They may have a bowl by now if Baker's the
if
quarterback.
Baker
for
was
that
the quarterback.
team.
For the, yeah.
But I've also been kind of a Jared Goff hater for a minute. So
Yeah.
like I think Goff is good. I just can't picture Jared Goff holding up a Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah.
That is an issue when you have Detroit's team.
Yeah.
So is what it is.
Fantasy wise though, I did have Mike Evans if he is playing this week because again, there's nothing really else to target on that except for I guess Otton, as well.
You got Tej Johnson. Tej Johnson looked okay, and then you had Cameron Johnson as well, who had a little bit of a breakout a little bit.
Mhm.
So you have names, but the names aren't as talented as Emeka Egbuka, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans.
Yeah, and then I have Amon-Ra St. Brown as well.
Yep.
He had like a crazy amount of receptions last week against the Chiefs. And
He's the safety blanket for Goff.
yeah. And then I also have Gibbs. I will say Dan Campbell. They've been interviewing me like, okay, so what happened to what's happened to this Sonic Knuckles? Because we saw
We've seen high
We've
heights
seen
of this
they've been
team.
And then Dan Campbell replied back and saying, hand up. we need to give Montgomery the ball.
I rock with that.
So he goes. We're
Montgomery the ball more,
That's what he said.
dude.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes.
Never
we
mind.
need- he goes,
I don't
"We
rock
need-
with that.
he's like, we need to split the backfield a little more because he's like, we have not been running with.
Okay.
Montgomery." As a Gibbs owner, though,
That is
it's not a
yeah.
good thing to hear.
It also is fair though because
Um,
Gibbs is getting like 20 carries a game,
Yeah.
and he's like walking out with 65 yards. He's just not averaging. But I don't know if Montgomery. I don't know. We'll see.
But that's what Dan Campbell said. He goes, I think we need to run both
Yeah, we'll see.
more equally. So
Frick.
I would say Gibbs, but I would watch out because it might
Not
go
Gi-
back to the split. He might come in. It might be classical. Gibbs has a big run, and then Montgomery comes in and steals the touchdown. As a Gibbs owner,
Hey, as long as I'm getting big runs, man.
last year it was a rough time watching Montgomery come in after Gibbs did a big run
Yeah.
and steal a touchdown. Oh, but yeah,
Okay.
that's the top 3.
Moving on to the final game of the week, and it will be the Houston Texans traveling in to Seattle to take on the Seattle
Seattle.
Seahawks. Seattle's favored in this game, 3.5 points, over under 41.5. Houston is 2-3, coming off of a bye week. Houston stacked back-to-back wins though, and had a bye week to prepare for the Seahawks team, compared to the Seahawks coming off preparing for a very tough Jacksonville team. Although their 2 wins come off a combined 2-10 opponents in Baltimore and Tennessee. I believe CJ is getting a little more comfortable. He's kind of figuring it out a little bit, maybe, hopefully. Well, I guess not for this week for you, but I do love CJ Stroud, so I hope he does get it figured out eventually. But it'll be a difficult test this week against a very, very good Seattle defense.
Yeah. One great thing to see too. We've lost. So we lost. Like last week, I was scared for our team.
Wait, hold up. You got to watch. You got Houston, make sure.
Oh, we're talking about Houston.
Houston.
I thought we were talking about
Yeah.
Seattle.
No, we were
That's
not.
my bad. Yeah, no, Houston. CJ's been looking like he's doing a little bit better. I'm
Yeah.
happy for him as well. They're doing better. I like CJ a lot, to be honest.
Yeah,
I want
CJ's
him
a
to
good
be
dude.
an elite QB in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, they're starting to get the running, like that offense a little bit kind of going and all that.
Yeah.
The running game's a little weird because Woody Marks comes in, and then also Nick Chubb's and
He
doing his
disappeared,
things.
though.
It's weird. Defensive side of the ball, I feel like they're pretty good.
Very
as well.
good.
Very good.
I would like to, they're 4th in total defense. So this Houston defense has been ridiculous.
That's the one thing kind of keep him in. CJ's looking better, and I hope he does good.
Yeah, moving on to the Seattle team. I'll do a little rundown what I think before I pass it off. Seahawks defense gets them another victory in my eyes. I think their defense was what got them through that win against Jacksonville, but Sam Darnold and JSN are the 2 very bright spots of this offense. JSN could be an OPOY candidate with 696 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Story to watch this week. I haven't checked since, so this injury report is a story to watch this from Tuesday night or Monday night, one of the 2. Witherspoon, Julian Love, Derek Hall, if they can all get back on the field after missing last week. The Seahawks team is 2nd in the league in rush defense, but 24th in the league in pass defense. I think it's been a struggle of trying to find out, especially when you're missing your cornerback
Exactly.
one. The cornerback room is really bad outside of Devon Witherspoon. And then safety, missing Julian Love is going to hurt any team. And then, you lose some of the pass rush with Derek Hall. Derek Hall had been very good before he went down. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this I will say though for the upcoming game, Bobby Donald talking about people playing, not playing, how it's looking so far, and it's looking good right now. It seems like we're gonna get Witherspoon back, we're gonna get Love back,
Okay.
Reek possibly can get back as well. I think this could be definitely one of those games. I could see being one of those games for Seattle where like our defense comes back and it's like, oh, our defense looks so good, and then the offense doesn't get anything going. I can see that happening.
It's gonna be hard when you can't run the ball. The
ball.
problem is Houston defensively does match up well with Seattle offensively, in my opinion, just because I think they can stop the run, and then they have Stingley on JSN. We'll see. There could be levels to it, though.
Yeah, it could be levels to it. But yeah, I'm excited just to see the defense side for us and see how well we do and all that. I think I'm hoping that our D line, it's been playing great against CJ. If we can just pressure CJ down and hopefully get that, if we're stopping the run game, what they're gonna try to do. Yeah, but I don't think we'd be fancy, bro, because we're trying to be too fancy. We're trying to get a run game going, and Bobby Donald also came out too, and he said he was really disappointed with the run game, and he said we really need to get it down. And again, me and Jake watching it, we're like, you guys, we just
it's every week we talk about
every week
this,
we talk about
but
it.
it's like it's almost like you have a running back averaging 5 yards per carry on your team,
exactly,
while the one you're giving more snaps to is averaging 2.5 yards per carry.
Exactly.
That is
That's
double
what's
the yards
really
per carry.
frustrating. And then what we were talking about earlier, there has been rumors about Devon Achane
It-
getting traded to Seattle.
This is the most obvious
but-
story of the week is the fact that the Seahawks will not be paying K9 to come back to this team in the
Exactly.
offseason, which
It's
I
dumb.
I get if a front office isn't big on paying running backs, but like K9 is like very talented. He's a lot better than Charbonnet. He's better than what you got, and he's talented. It feels like you got to pay him at least a little bit because K9 doesn't feel like a selfish guy. He doesn't feel like he's going to go in and want a ton of money. It feels like he's more of a team guy than that, but
People forget how good K9 is. I mean, honestly.
he's very talented, and
Like-
it's because he's either been behind a bad offensive line his whole career,
Uh-huh.
or this season he's behind a bad offensive line and his snap percentage has gone way down because they don't want to because they're trying to transition.
I remember like watching K9 and being like, "Holy crap!" Like all this.
This is gonna be, bro. If K9 ends up being one of those running backs in 10 years, where we have to be like, remember K9, I'm gonna be so upset because
Exactly.
that is one where it's like he was so talented and like other circumstances got
Reminds
in
me
the
of
way.
like Chris Carson. I loved Chris Carson watching him.
But that was an injury thing. At least.
That was also
like not at
injury, at
least.
least.
Like I don't mean
Yeah,
like
but,
that. I don't mean like that bad. I'm just saying like injuries
Yeah.
took him out of the game, not other circumstances where he can still play.
Mhm. I've seen like, dude, I remember K9 last year. We're playing the Lions. There was a play that, he was getting tackled and he flipped over the guy on the ground to get
Yeah.
up, and I was like, oh my gosh, like
It's just brutal
there's so much
because
stuff he can do. Like
every year he's been in the league, his yards are going down.
Top
His
speed, like-
touchdowns are going down. He had 9 his rookie year, 8 2 years ago, 7 last year. Which is unfortunate. He has 2 fumbles his entire career, 3 years. That's impressive.
It's just for a team that loves running the ball. I don't get why we're just hating on him so much of a deal. It's annoying, and I'm getting upset with it. But again, I think
JSN has been the ultimate
he's been
blanket.
the ultimate weapon, and
Yeah.
my thing is that's what I'm upset about because they've been trying. And McDonald's like, I'm getting upset with the run game. I wanted the run game to happen, and I think they're trying to force it.
I know he's
when they
injury
really-
prone, but like, bro, it gets to a
Really?
point.
Yeah, we really just also need to pass the ball when we need to pass the freaking ball because there's
Yeah.
sometimes where we force trying to get a run game started, and we're already passing the ball and we're cooking the team. Like
Jacksonville,
Yeah,
For example, the first half Seattle passed very well, and then they just kind of gave up on it for no. Like they had first and goal in the 10. They ran the ball all 3 plays and kicked a field goal.
Yeah, I'm like, why do you not trust Sam
because
Darnold? The guy's playing
Darnold's
really
been good on the goal
Yeah,
line
really
too.
good on the goal line. I'm playing pretty good this year, at least for us.
No, straight up, like
And it's like-
stat wise, he's been like top 5
Exactly.
rating
So like,
wise.
why are you going? Let's run the ball 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's like just trust your QB. Trust one of the receivers in the league that's like almost like up there for Oprah.
Yeah,
type deal.
he's been the best
So-
receiver in the league this year at least.
Exactly. So it's like that's what I understand. I feel like they need to figure it out. And this game is also a game where I could see we're at home. We never really usually win at home for some reason.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing about
So
this.
it's gone down. So Texans are 0-2 against the spread on the road this year.
Mhm.
Seattle's 1-2 against the spread at home, but they've now lost 8 of their last 10 at home
Yeah.
instead of 7.
So I can definitely see us losing because
I would also like to give a quick shout out because in the preseason preview I said I loved this guy out of college. And then last year he wasn't as good as I thought he was going to be. And then this year now he's leading the team in sacks. Shout out Byron Murphy. If you're leading the teams in sacks from the interior, very impressive.
I was pretty high on him this year coming up because I feel like it's gonna be like a breakout year for
Yeah.
him. And he's been doing pretty well this year as well.
Which I'm not sure I can
kids?
look real quick.
I
I'm
don't know.
really
Yeah, he just had a kid.
okay.
I
I just didn't like. I
saw
don't
an
know.
Instagram story. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he had a kid.
So I'm gonna go to team stuff. I'm not sure if him leading the team in sacks is lack of pressure from the edge or no. Okay, they're top. Seattle's 3rd in the league in sacks, so it's just impressive that Byron Murphy's leading the team in sacks from the interior with 4.5.
Big Cat's having another great year like we were last year as well.
Yeah,
He's
you hear his name a lot.
producing, like, love me, Big Cat.
Yeah,
he's
a lot of dudes have half. Oh my, Seattle like Atlanta has just a ton of dudes getting back there. I think y'all also have 12 guys with half a sack or more this
Crazy.
year. Just because y'all blitz a lot like us, we Falcons blitz a lot. The Seahawks also blitz a lot because you have guys like Josh Jobe getting back there, Witherspoon getting back there, Okada getting back there, DeAnthony Bell getting back there, Julian Love.
Yeah.
There's a ton of secondary guys getting back there because of a lot of blitzes. But then you also have guys like Nwosu with 4, Byron Murphy. I mean, up there, it's just stuff like that.
One of the things too, I think it's just because recently too, since we've been missing those key guys on defense, we had to switch up a little bit because they had a little more of the blitzes and all that. I think in the beginning of the season we were like one of the teams that just never blitzed
Yeah.
type of deal, and we were still getting home just because like of the D line that we had up there, and that's why we were kind of doing because the D line was putting pressure while we actually had a bunch of coverage.
Yeah, this year the pressure hasn't gotten home as much as y'all like.
Yeah.
Just because pass defense has been bad too. But that's where we got to adjust
that's
and
the whole
blitz.
point right now because of the injuries. But I feel like it's gonna be a great game. Everyone's playing. So.
Last story I want to go with. It seems like Seattle has a very big question mark at corner too. there is a guy on the team that is allowing the least. Let me look at the exact stat because I'm going to get this exactly down because I have enjoyed this guy since he was in LA. This kid is a stud in my opinion. I think he has a ton of potential at that. So, yeah, here it is. Oh, I missed it. It is right. Okay. NFL cornerbacks who have allowed the lowest passer rating this season on minimum 10 targets. Number 1 in the entire league, Darion Kendrick, 19.9. Darion Kendrick has been the best corner when it comes to passer rating this year, and he's just not getting the snaps that Pritchett's getting. He's not getting the snaps that Job's getting, and it's starting to piss me off a little bit because he's also leading the team in interceptions with 2. So I say Darion Kendrick should be your cornerback 2, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm not at practice, so I have no idea. I'm going Seattle to win, and I kind of lean the over in this game. It feels like a defensive game, but there's a certain point where I know I may have to just trust CJ to score the ball, and then also the Seahawks to kind of get the offense going a little bit because it's just a low number, but we'll see. I don't love anything yet. I do love Seattle to win though.
For me, fantasy wise, Jason, Brian Thomas had a game last week. I will say we have a better defense now this week, hopefully. So it not be as good, but Nico, I feel like that's the main target for CJ that he likes.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't really think of a third player that much that's really out to me type of deal. So I did put Sharp or K9. K9's been underperforming just because of how we've been treating him, unfortunately. Yeah. Charbonnet underperforming because he sucks.
Yep.
So
I know we've gone long in this episode already just because there's, stories evolve as the thing go. Going into next week, by the way, I have a 9-game lead on you in Pick'em, so you got to lock in a little bit. I also went 13-2 this past week on Pick'em, so.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm also, I think this week as well for our Pick'em League, I'm just going a bunch of different, underdogs, just I'm trying to catch up. So
but see, last week I had to go on Pick'em Pool because we didn't have an episode, so I had to go Pick'em Pool, and I went 13-2, so shout out me. But this week I will be able to go off the episode because we did it. Take away the top 3 bets of the week. Commanders, Cowboys over, Raiders plus 12.5, and Packers minus 6.5. I guess we can put together parlay real quick while we're here.
4-leg.
Try to do it quickly because I know Brady's going to have to edit some of the stuff out because we've gone long here.
We have gone long.
But here we are. My 2 legs, I'm feeling, oh, man.
I have 2, but
the Raiders leg number went down, so I don't know if I want to go Raiders plus 11.5 on Fliff because Fliff be scamming. Let's go. I'm gonna trust the Packers again, man. I'm going 6.5 on the Packers. And do we go 55.5 on Flip for Commanders Cowboys? I think I'm gonna go Packers 6.5. And I might go alt spread on the Raiders plus 14.5, minus 185. I know it's a large number is minus 185, but it's a parlay piece. Is it bad? No.
Yeah.
If that doesn't hit my bag, because I think I'm playing it safe and I'm not. But it's plus 14.5 on the Raiders. I know it's a minus 185 number, so it's pretty gross. But on a parlay, I'm not mad at getting those odds.
All right. What I'm going to go for is I'm also going to go for a spread.
Okay.
I am going with the Patriots minus 7.5.
7.5. We're going 7.5.
That's what I had on there. We could go. I was looking at it.
Do we trust the Patriots to go over
by
a touchdown?
1 point? So by 1 point, if we go 6.5, it's minus 145 compared to a plus 100.
I mean, they know what they're doing.
It's only 1 point, and I'm thinking
it's a touchdown though.
It's a touchdown.
Okay, I'm down.
Do you think that? I feel like, in my opinion, that they're gonna kind of kill the Titans this week.
Okay.
Because it's a new head coach, Vrabel's gritty.
Yeah.
And then plus I like the odds being at plus 100.
It makes up for the other spread.
Yeah, it makes up for the other spread. And the other one, I'm going with the Cowboys money line.
We're getting risky there.
A little risky.
Getting risky there.
A little risky, but it's plus 100 as well.
Okay. So 20 on that pays 225. I mean, Brady's getting a leg this week. I don't know if he wants included though.
Oh no.
I'll do one more.
Oh man.
I will retire.
Okay.
If I'm the only
Depends how risky this is, because last time Brady went a plus 180. So that is what it is.
I'm just gonna go for Sean Gary. 1 sec.
Oh man.
Sean Gary 1 sack.
Okay, Brady. This is Brady's. Sacks are not on here, by the way. Sacks are not on here currently.
So you can't do sacks.
So I can do I may do a 4. I may do this one, and then I can do a 5 leg closer to Sunday. You're gonna back out? Are you sure?
I'm gonna research.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, next time if Brady puts one in.
Oh yeah, Brady can research all week for next week.
We will say
Brady will have a big brain play next week.
Here's the reason why, if you're not caught up with all the stuff of that, we had an unfortunate event happen with Brady on the Nest podcast parlay. Me and Jake's both
We
legs
cooked
hit.
for the first time ever. We
First time
both
ever,
cooked.
Both our legs hit. We were one leg away, and it was the JMO
JMO.
anytime, and he did not
It's okay.
get it, and we didn't hit it.
Is
So
what it
that's
is.
See me on camera first.
yeah. That's why we were a little upsetty. Spaghetti.
We were a little upset. It happens. I guess
Um,
Brady gets welcome to the nest because that's usually what we do week to week. But
Yeah, 25 though. If you want to do 20 you pay about 200 something. And 25 is about 282. But yeah, that is the 4-leg Nest podcast for
Yep.
this one. A little risky.
I'm rocking with it. It's all
my
teams.
picks, but
at least we can't get burnt on players this week.
exactly, it's all
teams, so we can get mad at a team.
Yeah,
But
mad at the whole team, yeah.
but yeah, that's parlay. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe on YouTube.
Mhm.
Go listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts at. We appreciate it. Turn on post noties. Please comment on the TikTok as well. The TikTok's out there if you want to go follow TikTok.
Shorts,
YouTube Shorts. Yeah, anywhere you want to go follow, you can. Please do it. Please engage with the content. Love reading your comments. Love. It's all in good faith when we respond. If it's a different point, if we're arguing about something, it's all in good faith. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. To come back, we will be week to week now. We only miss 1 week. That will be it. And thank you guys for watching.